I feel like
Damn,
everybody.
God, thanks God, because I can't say no to free lunch right now.
Right now, everybody's kind of down bad a little bit. Like a little bit. I feel that. Like even the economy is like doing bad. Like it's weird. Like even like the stock market's like tanking and shit. Yeah. Like it's a whole thing. Like it's
real
a whole
estate's
thing.
down too. Yeah,
no, I expected it.
Yeah.
And then I had a mental breakdown.
Did you, Claire? You didn't tell me. Didn't tell me.
If
so
I
maybe
told you wouldn't have believed me. I expected it last year at the start of COVID that everything would tank because of how much money would like just completely drain out when no one was working or anything was moving, and no one believed me. So I didn't tell you because no one else believed me. So
I would have believed you.
Oh. No, but that was we're talking about because it was supposed to be picking back up because the first drop, with the pandemic, but like
right, note to
now
self.
it's just weird.
All right, note to self.
Logie believes me.
If you're just tuning in, Claire's just finding out that I believe her when she says things.
It was a crazy sight, ladies and gentlemen. I can't deny.
Or may or may not have some pretty intense self-worth issues. We're unsure.
Other than that, I'm your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. Wow, I said that real profess, right? I was like, that was good.
Okay, yeah, but it diminishes the profesh when you're like
I'd be like happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm here with my two best friends. Say hi to the people, Claire.
Hello.
Say hi to the people, Mitch.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good.
Oh, great. That's where we are today. Claire, tell them where they can find us.
Sorry, I was yawning.
Yeah, thanks. Because the show's so great that she yawned.
In my defense, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So
okay,
for me anyway. So you can find us on all the socials. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube. I feel like I'm missing one. No, I don't think I am missing. Oh, TikTok. We have a Discord now, apparently. I don't know what that is, but Logan recently made it and told me, and I was like, okay, I'll add it to the list.
Have you ever used Slack?
Pardon?
Have you ever used Slack?
Nope.
Okay, so never mind.
It's like gamer Slack, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I figured maybe you might have used Slack. Anyway, carry on.
It's like Reddit too, so, but go ahead. Go ahead.
So all of those will be either the Milk and Toast, which is Milk and Toast, or Milk and Toast, A-N-D, Toast.
And like nigga.
Oh, what the fuck?
That wasn't me, just so you know.
Can that not be what we do? Oh, my God.
Milk nigga toast.
Shit.
or milk nigga toast.
We also have an email. You can send in
I'm sorry.
recommendations of topics and dog pictures for Claire and any of your artwork. So I count artwork as from paintings to music to visual imagery, where you can send anything to us and we'll love and even possibly put it on the show. Far out.
You're welcome.
How am I supposed to grow as someone who's learning how to podcast when my teachers are this?
Oh God, I felt so bad hearing you call me your teacher, so I have to apologize profusely. Damn, I'm sorry. You didn't have to hurt me that bad. God damn.
Oh my God. What type of
Anyway, so
foolishness?
follow us, like us, subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't you happy? You're welcome. I feel like that was for the culture.
This podcast hasn't had a nigga moment in a long time. Like, you know,
that wasn't full on. That wasn't full on.
It's been like 6 episodes since our last, I'm gonna we need a calendar that says
technically it was
since our last nigga moment.
Bro, and every time it gets closed, we can have an alarm going off and be like, and then he'll post up with just cut to the fucking how many days, like Mitchell, how many days How many days?
That's why we need like an intern. We could cut to him and he just like hurry up and scratches it down.
Just like Logan, I couldn't take the last one. Has to be like the most pasty face, like nerd, like white person. Just please, God, no! You guys always just pick on me.
Oh my God!
Be like, yeah.
Listen, we got a whole show to do. We got a real like.
Really?
We gotta,
I'm so tired already.
You better not be tired of these niggas.
What?
Oh my God! Can you not?
I feel like I should edit it out, but I also don't want to.
Maybe you know what you could do. Like that might be funny. Is like let the first few like be there, and then like
how many are there gonna be?
There was only like 3,
there was like 5 so far.
There was like 5.
Okay.
Was it 5? So like let the first like 3 rock, and then when everybody's like, "Yo," you just bleep out the last 2 for no reason.
I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah,
but I did solemnly swear I was up to no good.
Like,
I did solemnly swear I was up to no good in a British accent.
Can you imagine if J.K. Rowling? No, I'll stop.
No, don't even do it. Don't even do it. We might have to bleep out that part.
There should be more. Can we talk about this for a second? There should be more black people in Harry Potter. I've been watching the Harry Potter movies for like the first time.
Logan, I feel we had this conversation. This is one of the main combos we had in college.
Yeah, but I didn't have this conversation because I didn't see the movies. And I just saw the movies. And there's like 3 black people in the whole... Yeah, like the movie's set in the 90s, right?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
How many... This is a problem with fantasy. It really is. Because like, as soon as like white people want to like write some like magical shit, they like make sure none of the black people are there. Like when it's happening. They didn't
have any magic.
It's so
like
weird.
2 black people in. I can't remember.
There was. Do you guys remember the guy? Did either of you watch How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah,
kinda. Yeah. He's.
Do you
in
remember
there, yeah.
Wes?
Yeah, he's in Harry Potter.
He's in there.
He's in Harry Potter as a kid, and he's so cute.
He's in the. He's in the entire series. But that's how little we got to see.
I was remembering him when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's so cute."
Yeah, he did like a few lines, like 1 or 2.
Anyway,
so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that one teacher from Wagadu, which is a real school in the Harry Potter universe. That's how Wagadu. Or it's probably I'm saying Wagadu because I'm American, where it would probably be like Wagadu, which sounds all more mystical and shit.
Anyways, my point is write more black people into your stories. And if you don't know how to, don't write any stories. Like
okay, we're gonna you know what? The Milk and Toast podcast stands for this. This is where we're taking it, and that's just final. You can't write these characters into your science fiction and fantasy when that's the easiest place to write them. Maybe you shouldn't be writing.
Just don't keep it to yourself.
Especially when it comes to fantasy. I am personally like a writer. I don't share any of my work, but I'm a writer. And like, if you're writing fantasy, you do have the like, I don't know, quote unquote out as a white person in the sense that like, you don't need to talk about black people hardship or anything because it's fantasy.
Right.
These black people have grown up. You can just make
in
this amazing world where everyone's equal, or like the green people are the ones that have the hardship. You know what I mean? Like you can just make this whole other world. You can just add black people into it because it's just people.
I hate when they do that too. I hate when they do that too because still talking about Harry Potter. Like, so Sarah and me have been watching Harry Potter, and she's been like, yes, I'm getting there. She's been like explaining Harry Potter to me as it goes along, right? I'm like, this is kind of fucked up that they're slaves and shit, you know? And then she goes, well, yeah, it's worse in the books because like the elves want to be slaves. And I said, what?
Yeah. It's like that ingrained.
I said, excuse me. This sounds familiar. This does not sound new or novel in any type of way, shape, or form.
So we've written in another character about Stockholm Syndrome.
And it just makes me feel like now, like when I hear shit like that, then I'm like, oh, that's why there's no black people in the story. Like, I get it. Like, you know, after like, that's your thought process while you were writing. Like, she had to write that. Like, she had to sit there, click-clacking away. Like,
and the
house elves want to be slaves.
This is an actual conversation between me and Logan from the 17th of September. Ready? Is Harry Potter racist because Sarah just explained the whole house elf thing to me? Me. Oh, yeah, totally. It's a whole thing. Logan. People don't talk about this? Me. Of course they do. It was all over Tumblr and has been a topic since it came out, to the point where we call JK a Nazi. And then it goes on to talk about how, like, a lot of the fans just basically were like, nope. Because, you know, we grew up with this show. I think for a lot of people, it's just something that we had, and it was our culture as like millennials, and we really enjoyed it and we loved it. And then as we grew up and we're an adult and we looked at it, we're like, oh.
Yeah. Right?
We're like, holy shit.
Like, damn.
Because, like, I have people in my life who are transgender that are my friends, and they loved her and they loved Harry Potter. And, like, she's a transphobe. Yeah, and it's sort of like, oh shit. And, you know, I have black friends and she's a racist, but they love the stories, and it's like, well shit. So like we all just decided, we're like, fuck it. We can keep the story and you can go die alone in your mansion.
Damn.
One last critique I had about Harry Potter, because like for years I've been Wait, no, I gotta talk about this, because like for years I faked like I knew anything about Harry Potter, and I didn't know shit about Harry Potter. I didn't read the books.
Bit of that. Yeah,
I didn't read the books. I hadn't watched the movies up until now. I've watched 2 movies up until I've seen the last 2, like, which is weird, but I've seen the last 2.
Wait, you watched the last 2?
Yeah, I know how it ends, but like I haven't seen really anything else. And the reason why I like was able to like get by all these years without reading or watching Harry Potter and like seem like I knew what the fuck was going on in Harry Potter to like so many people who are now finding out I'm fake, is that y'all don't shut the fuck up about Harry Potter. So I could just like sit down and listen to y'all talk all day and I'd know everything I need to know about Harry Potter. And the fucking worst part is that like the story, I'm gonna get people so upset. The story is so not complicated that like you can just hear in passing conversation what the story is about and be completely right about everything that's going on in the fucking story. Like it's just so that on the surface, if you know what I mean. Like it's just like, yeah. Look at Mitch's face.
I didn't even finish the books because I have to finish Chamber of Secrets and then continue. But
oh,
is that
dude,
like the third one?
Chamber of Secrets is 2.
Yeah, it is the third one. No, it's the third one.
Okay, yeah.
No, Chamber of Secrets is 2. Yeah, Chamber of Secrets is 2.
The third one's Prisoner of Azkaban. It's been a while, but I've read them all. I've read them all like 5 times. Oh, teen Claire.
My
Didn't
biggest
have many
problem.
Friends. Had a lot of books.
This is funny though. This is funny because this is what I was telling Sarah while I was watching the movies. Is that like, why can't Voldemort kill this fucking 12-year-old? Like, I was so upset about it.
Because he was nice.
Goddamn
and lucky.
Lived.
I was like, this is stupid. And then like, no, when when he caught them, right? When he caught Harry and like, he put like, the rat guy. What's the rat guy's name? I can't remember.
Peter Pettigrew.
Peter Pettigrew, yes. He takes baby Voldemort and then he dunks him in the vat, and then Voldemort arises, right? And Sarah was like, "It's not baby Voldemort." I'm like, "That's baby Voldemort."
But like, oh my god, it's like 5 pieces of Voldemort. It's like Deadpool when he like loses some limbs.
Yeah, it's baby Deadpool. So
no, it's
like,
not.
So like,
if it is, I have to acknowledge Deadpool jacked off with a baby ant, so it's not baby Deadpool.
He kind of
did.
But
I'm not acknowledging it.
Voldemort
fair enough.
Captured Harry, right? Harry's like caught in the statue.
How small would Deadpool's dick have to be? Sorry, I'm just never mind. Go on.
You okay over there?
Okay. Well, and back to Harry Potter.
Anyway, Voldemort's like basically captured Harry. Like the statues got Harry. Like Harry ain't going fucking anywhere. And like Voldemort's like dancing around. He's like cussing out all his minions and shit because they didn't arise him like quick enough. He's like, fuck you. Where were you? Only this rat dude was the one that made me live, and like fuck you too, rat dude. Like he's like,
he gave him a diamond hand.
Like he did. He was nice with it. And then so like I'm like, okay, now kill Harry. Like, I'm watching him like run around in circles, and he's like, and you, like, he gets to Harry, right? He's like, and you, I'm finally gonna do away with you. I was like, okay, stab the bitch. And then,
nah, man.
And then what happened is he lets Harry go, and he says,
to kill him
in a duel,
in wizard duel. Yes, you have no class. You have no class. You just wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you really don't have much class, Luke.
I don't.
I don't. About it.
None. Zero. Because,
Zero.
Because if I wanted to come back from the bed, if like a 10-year-old pissed me off so much that I need to come back from the dead to kill him, I'm just stabbing him. Like, I'm just I'm not gonna duel him and see who's better at magic. He's obviously been in school this whole time learning about magic.
How did I get manipulated into believing I was the villain? I'm just an autistic person who can't see past logic. Logan, what is this?
Logan's like, stab Harry Potter and be done with it. Like,
stab the 12-year-old. Stab him.
It's not that hard to kill a kid. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I don't know if this is where the conversation should go.
This is what I mean. The books make it look so fucking hard, and it's kind of like dangerous for children because they're gonna think that they can just like get away with kidnappers and shit. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what the message we're sending to people. But
that's why. Okay. All right. Well,
anyway,
that's why you care, right? That's entirely why you care.
Just, it seems like it went on for way too long because it's like the 70-year-old dude that's like, I'm going to kill this kid. Right? Don't act like I'm the bad one. She wrote 8 books about how this old ass man is trying to kill this 8-year-old.
We know JK's bad. You are just also a little bit of an issue.
Right now, yeah. Right now, I just made you.
What I'm saying is like this is the actual story. This is how it goes.
Oh goddamn! I should have washed my face. Everything's so crusty. Ugh. Sorry. Don't mind me. I keep forgetting I'm on a podcast. Never mind.
No, you're fine. No, I love it. I love the ad lib.
You can show up however you want here, Claire.
Anyways, by the time like Harry, like I've seen the last 2 movies, and by the time like Harry's like almost a fucking adult, like you're not gonna
so
beat him now.
How do you know that happened if you've only seen the last 2 movies? Because Sarah told you?
No, because I've been watching the movies with them. You know, thank you for joining the conversation. But I've been watching the movies.
You said you only watched the last 2, I thought.
No, at the beginning I have only seen like the last 2.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been watching the movies with Sarah up until now. And then I was just like, we haven't finished it yet. I have like one more movie, and then I've watched them all. But then I was just like thinking about it. I was just like, this is kind of like fucked up. Because I was like, why didn't he kill Harry when like in the first book when he was on the back of that guy's head like malignant? Like, oh shit, that's a spoiler.
Look at you.
But why didn't he kill Harry then? And she's like, well,
did you just spoiler warn Harry Potter?
I spoiled Harry Potter and Malignant all at the same time. Like, it's been years, guys. You should have seen the movie by now. And like,
which one?
All of them. All of them.
I know. That's why I'm like, why are you spoiler warning this?
Because I couldn't do it. Like, I can't understand the logic of this movie. Like, I don't get it. Like,
I love how you are religious and you can't understand Harry Potter. You can believe in some fucking
wait. That's different. It's different.
You believe that God is in the goddamn air and he's just floating about doing good things for good people, but you can't believe. You're just using up all of your faith in religion.
But no, I feel you. But that's not what he meant, because he's just like in the realism of why he hasn't just stabbed the child, because Logan has no class. But like,
I don't know how I'm the one with the problem when it's a literal 70-year-old man that can't kill a 12-year-old. Like, I'm the one. Yeah, it's me.
Know why.
No, you guys, you're right. It's me.
You want the 70-year-old man to kill the 12-year-old. Where the child is supposed to succeed. The child is supposed to
No.
live.
No.
The
Yes,
bad
you're
guy
right.
is supposed to die.
You're right, and I'm for the trope of. I think this is how we got here. We're like villains are like more interesting. Like people say villains are more interesting. This is how we got here because we wrote heroes in a way.
Whoa! Who is we? We got here because you talked about killing and stabbing a 12-year-old child. Who is we? I wasn't involved in that, nor do I want to be.
See, this is what I'm going to talk about later. Men, huh?
It's not that one. It's not that one.
No. So anyway, we got to move on to the real problem.
The real problem is that like we were writing like these stories that are like, how the hell did a 12-year-old get away from like the 70-year-old man just because? Like it's just like it
wasn't just because. It's because children can move in ways that adults can't always overcome.
I thought it was cool, like how the ghost of his parents saved him. The first time around. And I was
the ghost and everybody else in that graveyard who was like, yo, I want Voldemort's smoke right now.
Right?
Like, I want all that smoke. Hey, Harry. Cedric Diggory came out, yo, Harry, I got to catch this smoke, but carry my body back to daddy for me.
And Voldemort was like, this is some bullshit.
Yes. And this is why I kind of dig it, because the entire fucking series is Voldemort being like, yes, Harry, I have you. And then, man, this is some old bullshit, bro.
Okay, but then, like, he goes and fights Harry again, like, before the last movie, right? I didn't even know this happened. Like, he goes and he fights Harry again. He de-wands Harry. So Harry don't even have the fucking wand anymore. I'm like, is that the bitch? Can't even do that.
Harry's resourceful.
It was so horrible.
Harry's resourceful, bruv.
I was like, because I was like staring there, like watching this happen. I was like, as soon as I saw him like take the wand out of Harry's hand and then like proceed to like just like use like tiny spells on Harry to like torture him, I was like, this bullshit here. I was so upset. Anyways, let's move on.
From your child killing fantasy? Yeah, let's do that.
We had to talk about really horrible, silly bullshit first, because there's a lot of serious topics in this show that are coming up. And it's good to like start on the note that we started on. Is even though it was me ranting for like 15 minutes.
Like, child killing fan. You don't have to justify. We're good. We could just move on. It's okay.
I'm not even proud to be a Slytherin anymore. That shit's stupid. Like, you can't even. Never mind.
Somebody has to work. Okay, just so everyone knows, Logan obviously has to work through some things, which he's going to take the time to do.
I do. So earlier this week, I want to start about the Border Patrol thing, because this is something this is something that's made me so fucking upset.
La union fait la force.
And it's so. This is when I looked at the pictures of the Border Patrol basically beating Haitian immigrants on horseback. I'm like, this is everything that's wrong with this country in like just a couple of pictures. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's just so summarized. It's so like, I told you so. It's so everything that you could think of. And I watched some of the people like that had their own takes about the incident. I watched this dude that Mitch posted about the incident, and he was like real clear and coherent.
Bro.
But I feel like when stuff like this happens, people are just like in a state of shock, you know? And then we're trying our best to describe the situation other than just saying, this is some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to do that because we want to come off as clear and coherent to the people who matter and who want to like hear us. But then this is the type of shit that actually makes me upset about things like this, is because you have Border Patrol agents, white Border Patrol agents on horseback carrying whips, which somebody on Twitter said, why the fuck do they even own one whip? I don't know. And they're literally beating black people.
Actual whips.
What was it? Because
this is something I was having a conversation with but the problem was still just how you can draw the comparison because of how horrible it looked. It was their reins on the horses, but nonetheless, you're using your reins in a fashion as
they were
you're
using the reins like whips?
Bro, it's not like they were. It's just if you look at the footage and stuff, they're coming up on people and they're using the reins to also still kind of like rein those people in. So you're not necessarily getting a full-on whip, but it looks too close. It looks too similar. Also, those reins are still rope tight. You get hit with one of those, guess what it's going to feel like?
It's leather. Yeah, it's a whole leather strap.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like a belt.
Yeah, so that's kind of what was happening, but like, yeah.
So even that, like, I'm watching people do their video essays and stuff about everything that's going on, and I'm just like, you're using too many words. You're using too many words. We're using too many words for something that's like so blatantly obvious. And we're using that many words because we want to be like, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, we've been trying to tell you. Hey, we've been trying to let you know. And we're trying to do that in such a soft way. And it feels like we're trying to make people like understand, and they need to understand, when really, how much understanding do you need in your tiny little head to look at those pictures, to look at those videos and be like, oh, I don't get it. Like, really? Like, everybody has seen like the movies and like where like you got like the slave hand and he's on the horseback and he's beating slaves and or rounding them up in Africa or whatever shit. Like, everybody's seen those movies, those shows. Everybody's seen. We have 1,000 slave shows, right?
So many.
And it all looks the exact same as that shit. And not only that, it's like when we say that police and border patrol agents and ICE agents are really just racists that join these jobs so they can harass black people and brown people like to do shit like this.
This is what we mean.
We get, not only is this what we mean, we get harassed about that. We said, the people say, we're going too far. Yeah. We're the ones that are saying too much. We're the ones that are going too far. We're the ones that are going outside of, you know, we're talking too fast. We don't know the context. The context. We're saying too many words. And I'm not saying I don't want you guys to talk about it. I want you guys to talk about it. But that's my take, is that there's just too many words for the blatantly obvious. And there's too many words because we keep trying to convince people who really don't give a shit about the problem and who are a part of the problem.
That's a fact of the matter. I just think that's a fact of the matter. I don't care what you say. Even if you're just sharing it on Facebook and not doing anything about it except for sharing it, you don't really care. You don't care. Admit it. You don't care. And that's fucked up. But at least be honest in that.
Yes.
Like, so you might like not know what you can do about it. Like, that's, I guess, fairish. But then it comes to the point of like doing something that in your power, like in your ability, like Googling, looking up stuff, like offering, like seeing what they ask you to do and then doing it. Like, you know what I mean? And if you don't do that next step, you can just be like, oh, I just don't know what to do. You don't care. You don't care. You want to care. You want to look like you care.
That's the one.
You want people to think you care.
That's the one.
You don't care. You don't care. And it's so easy as white people not to care. It's just so easy. Yeah. And that's privilege. And that's where it's fucked up. And that's why I think I try and overcompensate. I care too much and then I burn out and then I can't care. But at least I'm honest in that. At least I do as much as I can, as fast as I can. And then I just burn out and I don't care. But then I say I don't care and then I move on, you know, because there's only so much. But
right. No, I got you.
It's just so, yeah. It's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. So annoying. Just be honest. Be honest about the fact that you're someone who should probably be put down for your lack of empathy.
Damn.
That you're a piece of shit. Be honest in that. Like, because I can't look at them. Like, I looked at them, the photos, and I watched a video and I saw everything Mitchell shared. I couldn't anymore because I'm stuck here in Australia and there's nothing I can do. Even my money couldn't help. So I couldn't look at it anymore because I cared too much and it broke my heart. Like, it just,
I feel you.
And then for days afterwards, There are people sharing. People in Australia were sharing. I'm like, what are you going to do? Why are you sharing that? How are you helping? You have Australian friends on your Australian page, and I'm in the position where I actually care and I can't help. So what the fuck are you doing? You're just being like, oh, look at me, I'm so woke. I mean, sharing information, I guess, is important, but at the end of the day, like...
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from a bit,
Yeah. No,
because I do toss and turn between, like, oh, well, everyone should know what's happening. Like, you don't want another, like, Germany situation where, like, no one knows what's happening.
Like, woke trauma porn is, like, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's the people. Yeah, it's the... Because you know who... You know who's like that. The people who are like, oh, my God. And we went and got Starbucks that morning. And, oh, my God, did you see what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God, it's so bad. So can I have my milk with frap? The people who could potentially actually maybe do something, but really don't. But and the problem with situations like this, too, is just that there aren't as many resources fast enough. And like, we're all living busy lives. So it's like, I have to go back and look more into the situation when I'm already stressed about it, just to find out how I can help more. And it's like, oh, fuck, why? But we have to get back to why is this even a thing? And so there are policies that have been enacted during Trump's presidency that allowed this to happen, which is annoying as fuck. And it's like basic lack of human empathy in the people dealing with this. Because when we have refugee crises, and I think I said this before or to somebody, it's like, we as America should be the country that has a set-in plan to deal with refugee crises. If there was any single country, like, it should probably be America. I mean, there are maybe a few other countries I could think of. Maybe like Israel should be more helpful during like refugee crisis, because I feel like you could definitely understand such a plight of being displaced and homeless for so long. But like otherwise, like America with all your resources, you know, other than the next like campaign into a place with large reserves of oil, how about some campaigns into our own infrastructure and, you know, plans to be of assistance at the highest level when things like this happen, when natural disasters happen. We're focused on the wrong things. And so you're being here and people are like, you want to talk about immigration? It's like, nah, we'll talk about immigration after. You know what I mean? Because it's like, those are still human beings. No one's illegal anywhere. If you want to talk, we're not even going to talk illegal because that just wastes the time.
They're like, but not only, it's not even just like an immigrant issue. They are asylum seekers. These are people who just had...
For the longest.
But their president just got assassinated. They just had an earthquake. These are people that need a home and they need somewhere to go.
Logan, tidbit of information. These aren't just people. These are people back from 2010 who was in like South America trying to seek refuge. It's not trying to seek refuge here. It's not even just, this is a continued problem. And then we have another natural disaster compounded on a fucking assassination that has happened prior. These people don't want to go back to Haiti.
Right.
No offense to Haiti. Nothing's wrong with Haiti, the island itself, the country and its people. But nonetheless, it's going through severe fucking turmoil.
Right. No, you're right.
You know what I mean? And it's, you could keep going. I'm sorry.
I just wish we didn't let paranoia rule
our decisions.
How our decisions were made. It's just so sad because, you know, I fall down like rabbit holes reading things and I try and get all of the sides of the story. No matter if I disagree with one side, I try and just try and understand where they're coming from, you know, like government officials and people who make these decisions. And a lot of it's just bred in fear of friggin', you know, being under attack or having people, like, this isn't just the Haitian people issue, it's more like just immigrant issue in general. But like, it's a lot of like being petrified of being under attack or having these people in this asylum seeking group who will like turn on people or who will use the innocent asylum seekers to like as a guise to like infiltrate America or Australia or England or whatever else. And it's just like so unreal. Like, sure, that might happen, but instead of just being like turning away all people who are looking for asylum because of the chance of that one guy with a gun, Why don't you just have it in place where you can like stop that guy with the gun before it gets too far? You know, like there has to be other ways to go about this that don't include, you know, this paranoia and fear. And that is just how I know. That's just how I know that you're just trying to invoke fear in the people with these like articles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't genuinely think that these government officials fear that now, because I know that there are other options they could take if that was a genuine fear of theirs. And they were like, that's the only reason, they could take other measures to stop these people from coming in. You know, the bad ones, not the ones seeking asylum.
Well, it's not even that, because it's like most immigrants, when they come to the country, are more law-abiding citizens than the people who actually live in the country.
No, like that's why I'm saying,
because
like,
they don't want to get kicked out of the country. You know what I mean?
The funny thing
and that's what I mean.
is,
like, I think it's trying to fearmonger in people. These articles about these
absolutely.
reasons why
the media's been used for that for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I thought you were going, Mitch.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just upset.
I just, it's because, you know, that fucking trope about, they're coming in, they're bringing drugs, that bullshit. Yeah. I know what a cartel. Now, if you want to go do something about the cartel, cool. I'm not worried about little Paco who came here to try to work on a farm to send money back to his grandma, dude.
Yeah.
I know what the cartel looks like and does.
Right.
They're over there.
I'm sorry, but if cartel gets their hooks into little Paco, can we do something else about that? Can we help Paco? Can we help? Like, can we not
That's a
just
tough one, man.
instantly fucking throw Paco to the wayside because of, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
I get where
it's so messed up.
Yeah, I know where
it's
going.
So messed up. I know it's not. Bad. I know it's harder than that. Like, I know that was like, but it's not my job to think of what to do.
No,
I'm not.
No, they make she's right, because they make the situation worse. Because if you believe that somebody was coming over, right, because of like drugs or whatever, like they're doing that. That's that type of activity, that type of like criminal activity or whatever you want to call it, is something that people do.
Choice.
That's not somebody's first job.
That ain't usually the first choice.
That's the first choice. That's like something people are doing out of desperation to eat, because you've made the conditions in which they can't eat. And so now you want to blame somebody because they want to sell drugs, or because they became a drug mule, or because you don't even know,
brought into the country,
or because you don't even know for real, Mitch. But you don't even know, the situation could be that they are under, duress. They are a victim of that cartel. But you want to first look at the person as, here's this brown person that's coming in and they're going to ruin whatever lifestyle I have. And then the fucked up part is like the same people that say that are the same people that work so hard to make sure that the brown people that do live here don't even live in their neighborhood. So how the hell are you so afraid that like the brown people coming from other countries are going to end up in your neighborhood when the brown people that live in your country can't even live in your neighborhood? Like this is the level that we're getting to, where it's like, when I say we talk too much about the shit, is like we let these people come into power. We let these people say racist shit. We let these people come on TV and do racist things, say racist things, and rile up other people who have less power than they do, but are still just as racist, right? Rile them up on TV. And the worst and the best we have to say to them sometimes is, oh, we need to hear both sides of the story. Oh, we need to make sure that this person is an actual racist. Oh, I don't know if this person is a racist in their heart, so I wouldn't call him that. It's like, what type of mumbo jumbo bullshit is that? It's like, I sound like a 40-year-old man, but like, seriously, what type of bullshit is that I need to first? Why do I need to look into somebody's heart before I figure out what they do? If I come across the table right now and I slap you across your face, do you really need to look into my heart about why I slapped you in your face? Or did you just want to know that, if I'm going to get dealt with after that? Like, nobody's looking into the heart of the immigrant. Like, nobody's looking into the heart of, and it's only some immigrants, certain immigrants, but like nobody's looking into their heart. Everybody's supposed to look into the hearts of racists and like try to figure out, what's going on there. These people, when I see these people on horseback, I think of the fact that they got a horse, and then they like you know what I mean.
It felt so surreal. Like it was like, what the fuck?
The fact that they got on top of a horse to do this was like you went so out of your way to do it in the way that you did it. Is that like, you know what I mean? You got a fucking horse first.
Hold on. Before, because I know it's so horrible that it paints a picture. Mm-hmm. But in one sense, I do have to say, even though it's fucked up, I'd rather you be on a horse that can kind of stop and dime than being like a Jeep, being like, oh, I ran through a whole bunch because, you know, hey, shit happens. You feel me?
I hear what you're saying, but like,
yes, of course.
But like, that's not why they was on the horse. It wasn't like so that they can control the urge not to run people over. You know what I mean? Like they were on the horse because it made them feel good. It made them feel powerful. They felt powerful to be on the horse.
I'm on top.
Yeah, they saw this. Like, if you were a Border Patrol agent, like let's say if you're a raging racist, right, and you need a job. And then you go and you work for Border Patrol, right? What? This is like Christmas for you. Like, what other time can you just round up black people on horseback and beat them with the strap that you use for your horse and pretend that you are like the slave master of your grandfather's days? Like, this is Christmas.
Oh my God.
And the fact that nobody wants to say that, nobody wants to look at this for what it is and call it what it is, because I gotta make sure that I know it's in the hearts of Border Patrol agents who literally signed up so they can do this shit here. Because in my opinion, the only thing that really a Border Patrol, if you should even have one, should be doing is, hey, you came over the border, let's find out why you're here and get you into the country. That's it. like you should be no more than just like a fucking toll operator.
My thing is, I wish I knew like what
Border Patrol did.
Those camps. I know Border Patrol, but those camps have been there. So I'm wishing I knew what even inside of this. Who like sent them out and was like, yo, go round up all them immigrants out there.
I don't know.
Go make a mess. Go find something to do. Because I really don't even know what started the whole thing. It's just like, it's like we're saying, why are they even under the bridge in these shitty ass camps, man? Like how you not have a better, like, and we need an entire rehaul, but instead we want it to be taking campaigns in the places with oil or giving money to Israel. I don't know why we're giving them all that money. No offense to anybody, but I don't know. But we could maybe, other than our infrastructure, which, needs looking at, we could perhaps be making it a very, very, very optimal system for bringing immigrants to our country. Or if there's a waiting process, there's like an actual established housing area for them to wait and prove their worth and merit for coming in as potential Americans. Or you want to wait, or they have to get, let's wait period or something. Either way, something better than whatever the fuck we have, since there's basically nothing at all.
They've whittled it down to where there's nothing. There's no path to citizenship at all. Like there's nothing. How are you gonna? That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that you just don't want people in the country just because they came from somewhere else. And really, I'm doing it now myself. The same thing that I'm upset about is like, that's not the story, Logan. It's not that he didn't want other people in the country. It was certain people. Like they don't have problems with the Canadians coming down here. If we ordered 100 more Jim Carreys, you wouldn't have a problem with it. 100 more Carlos Mencias? I don't know.
I don't know about Carlos's. Some Drakes as well. They let in some Drakes. Yeah, we care. We let you know.
Man. It's like they act so slick. They act like you don't see them.
Like they're getting away with it.
Yeah, they're getting away with this shit. And it's really
the kid with the cookie crumbs all over his face. Like, fuck off.
They that's exactly how they are. And it's really just other people just not being willing to say what is necessary about this, because you guys let people just get away with murder. You just let people get away with shit that they shouldn't get. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Fuck.
What the fuck?
Fuck, bro. And that's what I was telling one of my friends who was having this conversation. Because he unfortunately doesn't trust anything the media puts out. So he's at that point where he's skeptical of everything. And you know what? I'm not gonna blame you for that. It's your life. And I'll even have, the discussion with you about what's happening. We're friends, it's whatever. But it's like, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, the fact of the matter is, it's shameful that there can even be a comparison drawn.
Right.
Period. Do you not understand how shameful it is that this comparison, that we could look at these men on horseback in a specific place with racial overtones, like nothing against Texas, but we know how it is.
Yes.
And it's like, you don't see that you don't see how this looks. It's not even necessarily about what's happening. We could get to exactly what's happening later. But do you see how this looks? Does this not disgust you? Does this not make your hair stand on end? Does this not have your fucking heart ready to jump out its chest? Your brain on fucking fire trying to understand how we could even allow the comparison to exist.
But Mitch, that's what I want. I'm so glad you said that. And I'm so glad you said that in the way you just said it. Because I hate when we talk about cops or like ICE or Border Patrol or people like this, because these seem like the only people in our society where, like, if we translated their job to somebody else's fucking job, like, there's no, like, comparison, right? This is what I mean. Like, you can't imagine tomorrow you see in the paper that McDonald's has decided to do blackface with Ronald McDonald, right? Like, that wouldn't happen. It would never happen. Why? I mean, Ronald's got like the big lips and all that, right? But it would never happen in that way and in that blatant way because they have a PR team. They have people who think about that type of shit. It also wouldn't happen because the people who work at McDonald's, even just the regular people who work behind the counter, would be like, look at this racist shit that they put into McDonald's and take like pictures of it and like put videos up on it. And then that would be the thing, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to cops and this Border Patrol situation, it's like, was nobody thinking, hey, they might take a picture of me on this horse whipping black people? And that's how I know these agents are racist as shit. Like, if somebody was to ask me, Logan, how do you know that these people are racist? How do you know that they just didn't get caught up or whatever doing their job? How do you know that they just weren't, overwhelmed or whatever? This is how I know they're racist as shit, because the level of blatant racist imagery that you would have to have your mind jump over so you could land on top of a horse and end up beating black people in the middle of a river somewhere is too high. It's too much. The cost of it is too much. You are already there. Like, you are there. You are there on purpose, and you're doing it on purpose. This is a purposeful action at this point. There's nowhere you can go in America. There's no job you can work where shit like this would be okay, where like somebody could make like an ad that looked like those pictures that we saw the other day, and then somebody wouldn't say, does this have to do with racism? Like, there's nothing you could do. Nowhere. And the fact that we have to play these games, these political games with like our lives. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I got mad at some black people that were like, Trump isn't all that bad, because it's like, these same people are the same people that glorify and like idolize Trump and shit, right? And then these are, again, the same people that like, when like some like certain black people in the media were like, Trump isn't that bad. I'm like, one, they're saying it because technically Trump didn't say anything about black people, but when you're talking about other ethnicities that are just as brown as you are, who the fuck do you think they're talking about? Who the fuck do any of us think they're talking about? That's what I don't understand. How, like, as the listener, who the hell do you think they're talking about? We're gonna move on, but like, that's the type of shit that I just want people to think about. You know what I mean? Like, do you need to be nice to your local racist? Do you? Do you?
Or should you be trying to cater to your local racists?
Should you?
What are their needs? Why do we care about their needs?
What is your attachment to this thing here?
I think a really good segue, and this was something I was going to use for my topic that I was going to use today, but I think it counts. It's a bit like of a crossover.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first initial saying was, not all men, but all women have period. All women aggro and everything on their periods. Not all men, but all women, all that sort of stuff. And it comes down to the fact that like you can't stereotype people like that. You can't have that double standard. You can't be like, I'm not racist, but then like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. And then go out and then blanket everybody else.
Yeah. You can't be like, you can't blanket me as racist because I do this, and this. But that black guy, he does. Oh, I don't even want to say it. Sounds really bad.
No, you don't have to say it. You probably shouldn't. But like, I get what you're coming from. You know what I mean? Y'all ever think about that though? Like white people like say racist shit like on TV, and then like it's in the news the next day. I always think about that because I'm like, how the fuck did it get to the news? Like, how the fuck did it beat the editing process and everything? You know what I mean?
Like live is a little different, but that's very rare.
Yeah, live is a little different.
You pick very carefully who you put on live.
If you're racist on live, like you racist. Like you was just talking.
You didn't get all.
You didn't get a shit.
Like, oh shit.
Like your editor should get a raise and you should get fired.
Yeah, for real.
Facts.
But even live, like sometimes they put like a delay on you, so they can catch it and then like move it or something. But it's like they'll so sometimes y'all be setting these white people up. I mean, thank you, but like y'all grimy out there.
I'm surprised you have a question on that. He was just like, thank you, I guess. But damn, we need to do that to him on live TV. We can say that for later. But like, nah, just thank you. Got another one. Hey, we got another one, Logan. Put him in the barrel.
I'll be happy when they catch another one because I'm like, get him out.
As like a white person, because it's all about me. No, I'm kidding.
Yikes!
But I was just gonna. No, I was kidding.
And now our resident white expert, Claire.
I was just gonna say, as a white person who has friends who are people of color, they're chill. Like if you make a mistake, they're not gonna like hound you on it. Like if it's a genuine mistake, obviously.
Right,
like if you like accidentally say the N-word in a word that you're trying to say something else. That happened to me once. I was trying to pronounce the word inaugural, but I didn't. I stuttered.
Jesus Christ.
The sweat across Logan's brow.
And then my friend just looked at me. She's half Aboriginal and then she's got some other stuff, but she's like all color. Like she's not like not in a bad way. Like, she's just not white at all in this life. Right. She just looked at me and she's like, I'm the wrong kind of black for that one. So we just
oh damn. I like that.
Like, it was just
I like that one too. I'm the wrong kind of black for that one.
Kind of black for that one. Sorry.
She was like, but you should probably watch yourself. But it's like all the joke and stuff. Yeah. But it's like
they're like, in niggers what?
We stand.
That's six.
We love.
No, Claire.
I was kidding.
I mean, she ain't necessarily wrong, nor said the word. So I might let this one and that we stand and trust.
See. So
I might have to give her a pass. I feel like
all those white people who are super like paranoid about it are racist in their own way. Is what I was trying to get at. That was what I was trying to prove. You know what I mean?
Let's get some light topics.
It's so funny what some like people of color will like withstand and what some won't though. Just like the perfect example between Mitchell and Logan. Mitchell was like, "Yeah, that was funny. I'll let it go."
Whoa! I was like, I think I'm gonna let this one pass because like it's just a true statement. And you didn't say the statement because it's for me to say the statement.
It is a little funny. Like she's like.
I gotta respect the truth. Love. She's like, and we love and we trust. And I was like, that's right. And you saying that's right. Like damn straight. That's right.
It's like those moments where you're like, you're with the white person, but you're just like, why?
I didn't say shit though. I didn't say shit.
I know.
Exactly.
And my intentions were nothing but kind of pure.
Exactly. Which is
I was
why
being
I was like,
cheeky, but they were pure. It was
pass.
pure.
Let's talk about West Side Story. Let's talk about West Side Story.
Oh, why? Oh, right. This was one I brought up.
Oh, what?
Yes.
All right, so I don't really care about the trailer much. Nothing against Steven Spielberg. I get it. He's like a film genius or whatever.
Well, let them know what's going on. Like,
West Side Story is getting another remake.
Okay.
I think there was only that one from like what like the 80s or something.
Yeah, it was like it was like the 60s, I think.
Oh, was it early? 60s? So like there's that movie, and so West Side Story is getting a remake, and I saw the trailer today. Directed by Steven Spielberg. It looked nice. Like some good cinematography, and I'm just watching this, and I'm going,
what'd you hate about it?
To be honest, the fact that it exists. Straight up, bro. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, Hollywood, there was nothing really wrong with the last West Side Story film. And the fact is, I prefer the campy feel it has to it based in that musical theater rather than this dark, suave, fucking, what do you call it? What's that sex novel that everyone, 50 Shades of Grey type feel. There it is. I'm mad it has this now 50 Shades of Grey type feel between Maria.
You think so?
And what's his name? And then it's like, now we can really, now with what's happening, we can really harp up this political racism, right? And it just feels that way to me. And I'm watching it and I don't feel anything authentic or genuine from it. And I'm just like,
Here's the thing, because like I watched the trailer just before we came on. And I didn't find that much wrong with it.
But you did? Okay. Wow. I didn't think you dislike it at all.
No, not really. I love West Side Story. But
that's great story.
Yeah. But here's the thing. This is the fucked up thing. It's just like, to me, it gave me a little bit of like In the Heights syndrome when we had talked about
oh boy!
Because I was looking at Maria, the girl they got playing for.
Yeah, you did notice that all the Puerto Ricanos were only kind of like
they were, they were light,
white Hispanic.
They were light
just
Hispanic.
White Hispanic.
They were real light skinned, and Maria is just fucking white. Like she's like, is she Cuban? Like what the fuck? Like she's just like super duper white, and I just like, why can't they find like? Is it that hard? Like, it's not that hard to find a dark-skinned Puerto Rican. Or just, like, somebody who just has a tan. Like,
so hear me out. So if we get into, the Hispanic variants of the human race, which is what I'll say for just this being, we get into Latina,
say it like that, but sure.
Latina, Latino, Latinas, and stuff like that. Well, I know it's hard because it's like Latin American, Hispanic, and there's so much variation. So when you get into the specific variations of the culture, so it's like we're talking Dominicans. Yeah, we're usually thinking a little bit more darker skin to more mixed skin looking. When we get into Cubans, like you said yourself, you're like, oh, I'm used to thinking of, pale skin. When funny enough, with Cubans, you get just as many dark skin as well. Because in Hispanic cultures, it's fairly, in Hispanic cultures, it's really, yeah, that's fair. But it's fairly across the board. If you're Hispanic, you can be pale. You can be like, you'll get into, a lighter skin, brownish tone. And then all the way into darker skin tone. But then we'll get into these movies like In the Heights, and it was like, it didn't seem like they went for much variation. That's sad, because that culture could definitely use that, because that's the truth of that culture. Lots of variety. And then we get into this now, West Side Story, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, why is this shit even here? But when I do think about it, like, I don't even know. I usually don't even feel that hard about it, but when I look back at it, I think about it, it's like, yeah, there wasn't much variation. I remember the old one, the Sharks was straight up like olive brown skin, bro.
Right.
Like there wasn't one. Like Maria wasn't even like all of them if you look at all the Puerto Ricanos, like, they were all like mixed race, lighter skin looking, but not pale faced. You know what I mean?
Were they actual Puerto Ricans in the original though? Because like Hollywood likes to butter up a white person.
That's true. That's very true.
I'm looking at it now, and that's OG Maria, and I mean. You can see the fake tan lines.
Yeah.
But so it's like, I don't know why they always do that.
Yeah. It's just like,
I'm watching the
What is she, like an eighth of a shade darker than?
She's the same color as the white dude.
Yeah, that's messed up. What's her name? Like What's her name?
Her name. Oh god, I don't know. I'm just looking at pictures.
Yeah, as our resident researcher, yeah, just pull that up for us.
Yeah, man. And see, I didn't remember the old, so that makes me sad. And now I'm looking at this new one. I'm just like,
It's funny how we like think back and we, and then when we see like Mitchell, the shit, like how much. It's funny how many black people aren't like in our memory. You know what I mean? Like we imagine like so many darker skinned people like than there were. I feel like. And then we don't even really remember, like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even really realize how fair that is. We don't even remember, like, the ones that are there. Like, somebody, like, I remember reading this thread. I don't know if it was on Twitter or Reddit.
Oh, wait, show it to us, Claire, if you have it.
So her name's Natalie Wood. She's not
Natalie
the
Wood
whitest.
Is white.
She's not the whitest,
I've
but
heard
she's
that name before. She's white.
Yeah, she's Russian and Ukrainian.
Oh, okay.
How's that not the whitest?
Because for the Ukraine aren't white. Like they're not.
Ukrainians are white.
They're called.
Well, it depends on what you consider white. Because they have like, are Italians white? Like that's what that sort of vibe is. Italians. Yeah.
That's
no, Italians aren't white, and I don't give a shit.
Sicilians aren't white, but that's complicated. Yeah, it's complicated.
No, because Italians haven't been white forever, and like some Italians want to act like they white, and I'm telling you guys right now, y'all still not white, so fuck y'all. Like you just
okay. What about the Italians who don't care for being? Well, okay, I guess you don't mean them, but like, yeah, fuck those Italians.
I mean,
white. But anyway, yeah, you're
right.
Stop
pretending.
Stop it. Yeah, stop it.
You can't even get your hair cut at a white barber. Stop it.
These are Ukrainian women. Are they white? Or are they Ukrainian?
Those are white women.
But those would be Caucasian.
But they've got the same white skin tone and like look as an Italian person who's not white.
White-faced people from the mountains of Caucasus.
They got a little tan on them, but like those are white.
Well, the Eastern Europeans, they're a little different. They just tan a little different. It's different. But back to West Side Story. So yeah. I'm just watching it. I'm just like, there's nothing that makes me really want to go see it.
So you just hate that they redid it?
No, as I look at it, it just seems so commercial. I guess maybe I feel like the old one had more heart. And I'm just watching it. I'm just like, oh, okay. And it's Steven Spielberg, so I'm like, it's probably going to be good. But I'm just like,
Claire's just sitting over there showing me, like, I'm trying to listen to this conversation. And Claire's showing me random Ukrainian white people and be like, how white are they? And so this is, you know what the funny?
It's like, look at me. Look at me.
Claire, I'm baby, white. Stop! Like you are so white that like it's not fair. Like,
yeah, facts.
You can't. But that's the other funny part to me. That's the other layer of it that makes it funnier to me. Is that like this is the exact reason why white people wouldn't let Italians be white, because like white people are like, no,
like you guys aren't white. Because here's the thing. So if you look at history, because the way I think about it, it all technically goes back to Greece.
So back in Greece, I was going with that though. I was anti-white. I was like, no one wants to be white. I wasn't kicking anyone out of the club. Like fuck.
No, that's not the.
You kicked Ukraine out.
Well, kinda, but not really.
Never here. They're not white.
They
don't even have white culture.
They don't even like
what? That's a different thing altogether. That's a different thing altogether. Just because you're Eastern European doesn't make you not white. Even though you feel less white because you don't act like your Western cousins, which I appreciate, but nonetheless.
What about Serbian?
Well, Serbian people are white. They're just white people
a little closer to like the Middle East
slaves to other white people. So it's just, that's their business. Once again, Claire, I am staying out of white people's business. That's business, whatever, right? Because whatever y'all do over there, y'all have your council meeting about it. I'm gonna be out of that.
Oh my god, he said have your council meeting about it. Well, so like whenever we hear the term white, we're so quick to think like white, like white American
let's talk
or white
about West
English.
Side Story. No, we're not. We had our chance to talk about white people shit.
You're right.
We didn't do it. Now we're moving on.
So West Side Story. All in all, I saw the trailer and I wasn't really excited.
All right.
I was just like, Why'd you do this, Steve? Like, and then everybody's extra pale, so it's like kind of like, oh, okay.
I don't have a problem with it. I heard that they was gonna make a West Side Story movie like years ago, and I thought that the In the Heights movie was supposed to be that. Like, it was supposed to be like, you know how they do like the same story, but they do it like different. But In the Heights wasn't that, so I was disappointed.
Oh, the other thing. I'm sorry. The other big thing. It feels less theatery and more filmy.
It's a film.
And like I always like yes, but if you're doing the film based on a musical or a theatrical piece, it's easier with stage plays to film. But if you're doing like musical works to film, like, yo, I need that heart there. Like I remember watching Chicago, the film, and there's just so much. I mean, and that's kind of like
you need all that 2D blocking. Where it's just like
kind of, sort of, or at least at least have that nature of the choreography there. Make it somehow because you can do that in film. You could make film look like pure theater if you want to, because that's the magic of film. And it's when that element's kind of like missing in some aspect. Like I said, it feels so commercial. It feels too filmy, which is why you're like okay with it. But I'm like, yeah, because
I'm watching a movie, and so like I didn't go to Broadway. I went to watch a movie, and so like unless it was like
to be getting Broadway
unless it's like they're actually filming the actual play like they did with Hamilton. I don't give a shit. And like I think it actually ruins the movie sometimes when they try to make it too theater. Like
we don't have to make it too theater. Because I'm not saying to do that. Even
like if it's not a musical, like I don't know if people gonna agree or not, but like Fences for me didn't really hit that. Like I like the acting in Fences and I like the story, obviously. But Fences as a movie, I can't say I enjoyed. Because of the
story is right, but yeah, what do you mean?
Because of the fact that it's such like a play movie. Like some movies you watch and they're just like they're based on plays, but it's like they're trying to do the play on screen. And so therefore the scenes are way too long, people are talking too much, and it's just like, oh, where am I? You know, it's just like, what am I watching? And like,
I don't necessarily agree.
If Viola Davis was never in Fences, like that movie would be trash. Like that movie, it struggles. Like I can't really watch it.
Oh, really? I fully disagree. Yeah, I guess that's just a personal taste thing. Yeah,
I can't really watch it like that because I can't watch something that's like trying so hard to be the source of the adaptation. Like I get like adapting a play and then making it into another play that's not the same play. You know what I mean?
In terms for the film or like for a play production?
No, for a play production. Like, when they take the...
Yeah, but that's easy. That's easy.
Yes, because it's a play being a play. Yeah, to a play. But like when it's a play being a movie, like it's a movie being a play, I hate that. I hate it because like they try to block it like it's a play. They try to make it look like a play, and then everything looks rigid. Everything looks 2D, and it just the whole thing. You feel constricted, and I get this claustrophobic feeling when I'm watching it. I hate it. It's like shouldn't the camera be moving somewhere? Shouldn't it be doing some shit? And they're like, nope. Put it on the tripod. Shoot him, talk this monologue for 30 minutes, and it's just like, we're not going anywhere. Like, it's just like no pacing to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I disagree. But then again, I was trained and raised in theater, even though it's not like why I started acting. But which is why I say this, because I disagree, because when I watch films like that, but it also depends, because some are hit, some are miss, and that's just going to be what it is. Fences particularly, I don't have much to say for. Viola Davis is in it, so of course it's going to be good. But the story writes itself, so there's also that. But in terms of the film, I don't know, because that's like, there isn't much else to that particular story. You know what I mean? Right. You're not, because if you, and the thing, and this is maybe why I don't like West Side Story, because then if you try too hard with pushing full-on film aspects and something like that, it's like now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, you're trying so hard. You don't even have to try that hard. You just have to do a few things here and there that take it off stage into film and then just shoot. But now I'm watching the story and it's like, I think there's so much.
It's probably going to be bad. It's probably going to be bad.
Don't say that. We'll have to see. But I wasn't excited by the trailer.
Bad lately.
Well, when you're not really original, so we're getting a West Side Story, and it's like, we don't need a West Side Story. There's this dude called Robert Smalls. I forget I think it was Chicago, whatever. But it's the story of him stealing a slave ship, going back and getting more slaves and bringing them to freedom, some shit like that. I could use a movie on that.
I've heard that.
I could use a movie on that, but instead, I'm getting another West Side Story, and it's super Spielberg stylized.
I get you, yeah.
It is.
And it's like, oh, God.
Spielberg is getting like he's like beyond his own technique. Like he knows his own. You know what I mean? Like all of his shots and stuff is like it's him. It's like he's almost like Michael Bay now. You know, where like Michael Bay uses
you said
his
that
same.
out loud.
Yeah, I did. Because like he uses like his same shots over and over and over, and to the point where like you're watching the trailer and it's just like everything. It's like Spielberg, and the whole everything is shot that way, and it's just like I can't watch it. It's like it doesn't make the movie better, and then the material isn't even good. Like Ready Player One was trash. I hated that. Like it's just
oh really?
That was garbage.
I didn't dislike that movie.
The only thing Ready Player One did is just like show you a bunch of your nostalgia toys.
And the effects were good.
That's it. There's no story, no plot, no nothing.
Whoa.
The way I see it.
No, I disagree entirely.
Gross.
I disagree entirely. There's a full plot, full story.
I don't know what you're talking about. And there's a book.
You guys didn't like that? Well,
people hated the book. A lot of people hate the book.
I didn't know there was a book. I just didn't dislike the movie.
I mean, that's their opinion.
No, because I read some of the passages from the book. It's a little convoluted.
Oh, really? I didn't know
well, you can.
I'm just saying for me.
Arguing this movie.
No,
I
you're
was
fine.
trying to like.
No, yeah, I'm not either.
I was trying to wrap up this conversation by being like, no matter what, it's always going to be better than Cats, and we're going to laugh and have a good time. But then you two are all like argumentative.
You saw Cats? You went to the theater to watch Cats?
I didn't. No. Nope.
I didn't even give that a chance. I've never seen Cats,
but I know the entire plot of Cats.
How the hell?
Because I Googled it once. And I've seen the
played version of Cat. Well, I saw the filmed version of the play.
I wish I could like round up a bunch of people to do Cats, but like I film it all on Snapchat with like Snapchat filters because it's the same shit. It's the same shit that they did. Like the special effects. They're like, oh, it's this new technology where we graft the like fur on top of the person using only computer. I was like, oh, like a filter.
And I'm like, yo, which is
I dibs Dame Judi Dench's role. I can't remember her name, but the old cat.
Grisabella.
Yeah, I dibs her.
She was Grisabella. The cat who goes to cat heaven after being a cat home. Okay. Oh, you remember some songs? All I remember is
that's the only song I remember.
Tugger and like Jellicle Cats. Jellicle Cats. When I can't remember any lyrics.
Idris Elba. Why can't he get in a good movie?
He's Idris Elba. He doesn't have to be anymore.
I mean,
like, you do know that.
He deserves one. He
you know that, right?
He's like
but he doesn't have to be.
Idris Elba is like the best worst actor ever. You know what I mean?
He should be Black James Bond. Oh my lord.
He was supposed to be, and then
Claire.
Of fucking Twitter got mad about it. All of Twitter was like, "Nah, he can't be James Bond. He's black."
I was talking about that with Ben, my boyfriend, and he was like, "Oh, I don't care if it's Black James Bond. I just feel like it should be someone more suave." And I was like, "Yeah, like Idris Elba." And he was like,
"That's
okay,
fair,
honey."
Okay, sweetheart. I'm
like,
your man,
or not.
That was actually, so you're clear though, Claire. I'm not joking. That was supposed to happen. Like they were reaching out for him to be. Yeah, you remember that happening? He's supposed to be James Bond, and the internet was like, "Oh, Black James Bond? What?
He's too big to be James Bond, to be honest."
No, to be honest, Logan, I think
she said, "What are you talking about?" He's
to
like
be honest
6'3".
There's no real parameters for James Bond. Like,
what type of spy is 6'3"?
Sexier. Let's make James Bond sexier, shall we? Like, let's do it.
I mean, let's see. Daniel Craig's like how tall? And then I feel like what's his name? Oh, I'm sorry.
But guys,
Sean Connery was pretty tall, or at least he looked it because he was so lanky. Maybe not, but he was lanky. And magic of film, bro. It's not like it'll actually matter.
How the hell are you? Who are you hiding from at 6'3"? Like, who are you hiding?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Behind a lamppost, like.
You're the tallest bitch in the room. Who the hell?
But he won't look it, bro. He won't look it on film.
He looks taller than everybody in everything he plays in.
Yeah, he does. That's why he's so hot.
Yeah, I just thought back to it and I'm looking, I'm like, but no, they can work it out.
He was in Thor and he was taller than Thor.
No. But you see how they set up the shots.
Because of like how the like
it wasn't that apparent though, but
where it was and the like story and everything at work.
Yeah.
I'm like, because you're like, yeah, that's just a person that's taller than Thor. Like, it doesn't matter that much. But
it wasn't that apparent though.
I'm not on my game today at all.
It's all right. It's all right. We're a little wonky today. It's fine.
You're a little wonky today. I'm a star.
Mitch, tell us about ego.
So last time I was like brushing over it last episode because we were talking about the gala. I want to stay focused on that. But it's this thing. It's this thing of our ego and the pursuit of greatness. And that's what I was like, that was the correlation I was making, because it's like, we want to be great. And it's like, what does that mean? And it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Regardless, somehow self gets into the picture. I super hard because it's like me. I need to be this thing, whatever that is for you. I need to be this person. There's many egos we could talk about. We could talk about Kanye West. I mean, we could talk about, and there's different kinds. So we could talk about Jay-Z if we wanted to. We could talk about, what's his name? Tom Brady. You know what I mean? And that pursuit. And sometimes you could, wield it properly, I guess. But then a lot of time that happens, and as we know, power corrupts. It's just how it be. Mm. You're sitting here trying to be the best version of you, and you're forgetting about the people around you. And then we have this culture where it's like, yo, you got to be like that. You got to do it. And in some aspects, I get it. I'm not going to pretend. Like, I get it.
Do you feel like you got to be like that, or is that's just what comes with that?
So, and that's what I was getting into just now. It's like, so I think people exaggerated because, they're like, yo, you have to be willing to make sacrifices, on certain people to do what's best for you. And on some avenues, I understand what you mean, because we don't really take care of ourselves and let the responsibilities of others fall to us or care too much about others. Sometimes that can be a detriment to us. But I feel oftentimes what ends up happening is like, yeah, you got to do what's best for you. And it becomes this full on selfish thing. Mm. And it corrupts people into believing it's okay to like really treat people a certain way, which is my main problem. Like, it's like you become this great person. And as you're on that path, you little by little start taking chips off your empathy, where it's like, well, those people aren't where I'm at. So I get to act this way. I get to behave like this. I get to treat people like that. And it's like, no, that's the problem. That's what I wanted to get at today. It's like, that's fucking disgusting bullshit. And that's what needs to die. That you don't have to be at all. You don't have to be that way at all. It's just the society we live in that makes you think so.
You think they have to be that way? Or do you think
full on think.
Or do you think like they are already like that and they just got a little power in them?
Both. People be power tripping, but also like they're power tripping because they think they need to be that way. You know what I mean? The Kardashians aren't the ugly people that they are on one respect, because like that's how they were born. They're looking at the society around them that they think would otherwise devalue them for who they are. And so they think they have to act that way. And it's like, on one level, maybe there's a conversation to be had. On the other level, look at yourself. Look at what you're becoming. Look at what you've become.
I don't know. I feel like you're right. Nobody's like maybe a egotistical baby. I don't know. But like, I feel like if you're in a world where you're raised a certain way and you're taught to a certain way and you talk a certain way and everybody supports that, then, that's kind of your fate in a way. Like, you're going to be like that.
Well, that is the other side, because it's like I said, no one's born that way. But that's what I mean. We're in this superficial society. You know what I mean? Us as America, we have, which is sad because there's such beautiful culture here on the other side of that. We're like living the tale of two cities in places. You know what I mean? It's like some people are really superficial while some people got really good hearts. And it's like, you do realize that you shouldn't be superficial at all, really. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like,
why do you feel like there's so many people like that get to the top like that, though? For you,
that's what's been selling, is what it looks like to me. And I think to be told in my heart, I think like there is like this grand scheme to devalue like, actual authentic, real to form like art and stuff like that, or real to form like authentic, real to form like policies and culture, because you can't manipulate people like that. You can't manipulate real authentic people who's going to be like, oh my God, that's fucking, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that ain't right. You know what I mean? You can't as easily manipulate, but when you engineer a culture and a society that's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, put on this makeup, you know, go get a job, then you can get a girlfriend and do whatever you want to her. Or yeah, if you act this way, girl, if you keep yourself all prettied up and you wear the hottest shit and you're the most fabulous bitch, you're going to get a man and you can manipulate all these boys because boys are toys anyway. Like, right, girlfriend? And
you sound so hurt.
I am.
Claire's not here.
Bro, I wish she was, but like, it legit hurts because I'm sitting here in that society having to deal with those people and realizing that I could do that easily. That shit's not hard. And that's what sucks the most because it's like, it's not hard to have that. There's no truth of character there. It's not hard to be like that at all.
It might be hard for you. I can see it being hard for you.
Me being like a full-on superficial. Oh, yeah. See, Logan, it makes me so happy to hear you say that because you actually genuinely know me. What you don't understand is the fight I had within myself to not be like that. Because a few different circumstances and I could have been. It's really not hard for me, Logan. I talked about my charisma and my gift to gab earlier, stuff like that.
I think it's easy for you to wear your ego. I don't know if it would be easy for you to use your ego against people is what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah,
well,
you know what I mean?
Like, well, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
right,
I could see you talking about yourself all day. Yeah, I've seen you do that. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I could see you using that as a way to like be like, oh, I'm better than you. Go get me my coffee and do like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, Logan, yeah. And once again, I'm glad you say that because on that end, for who I am and where I've come from and what I choose to be, like, no, it wouldn't be easy to make that switch up. But like, the thing is, it's not hard to do.
But no, on the other hand, I feel like it would be hard for you to do that because that's not how you are. And so because that's not how you are, I think that would require a lot of conditioning and an act on yourself to do that. And that's what I mean, that like, I don't think...
But my acting skills are great.
All right, Mitch. Okay. No, you do have great acting skills. But at the same time, you don't even like method acting. You're going to keep that up forever?
Well, realistically speaking, like, of course not, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, and so we have this culture and it's like the ego is your sense of self, yes, and it allows you to do things for your own gain, which isn't necessarily bad. And in terms of expressing yourself, it's a very useful tool as an artist. Like really get in touch with yourself and express what you have to express because that helps other people in one way learn how to express themselves. But there's a good and bad to everything. And it's like the good on that is what I just described. The bad on that, once we've been corrupted by the force, is now we think we should be the ones on top. Now we think we should be the ones in control. And now all of a sudden we don't have to listen to anybody else. And it's like, I don't think it should ever get to that point. But like I was saying earlier, we live in these superficial society, constructing these superficial things. And it's like, and here's one example for me. And, you know, and Claire, like, we're going to get talking on women in a little bit. So let me speak on something that bothers me about how women are raised. Not that bothers me about women because I'm not victim blaming and I can't blame them for this. But it's like our society is one that is very, very superficial and would rather a little girl play with dolls, be a damsel, always have her face made up. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course, because it's fun to do that and it's nice. But we'll value that rather than actually, you know, putting her in a setting where she could develop strong leadership skills, be able to move through the world physically. Because, you know, we don't actually think about exercise in women as much as we should. That's not a very new thing, but not something that was like really normalized. And it's like we have a society to be like, yeah, give her a pretty face rather than give her a pretty heart. And that's always bothered me. Always has bothered me. Now, you can take that and feel how you feel, audience, because that's your business. But that's something I'm just like, that's a part of our superficial culture. And now we have...
I don't disagree. I'd like to point that out. Like, I don't disagree. I just feel like as important as a pretty heart and a pretty face is, what I want more anything else is intelligence.
I respect that.
And the ability to access the same things our fellow inhabitants who own a penis.
You could say man. No, okay.
Well, not every man has a penis.
Not every, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, yeah.
Logan.
Logan's like, not me, not today. You're looking kind of scary out there, Mitch. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Please carry on.
I'm like, caught him slipping.
Facts.
No, that's basically it. I don't disagree with you. I do agree that, for a very long time, a lot of, honestly, pretty heart has never been an issue because, the women that in, the olden days that men would favor were the sweet ones, the sweet, pretty ones. You got to be sweet. You got to be kind. You got to be happy.
Is what you mean.
You got to be pretty. Yeah. Exactly.
Shut up! Don't say that shit.
No, she agreed. It's right because that's why they preferred this.
Because they were more easygoing. Because they were empathetic to their plight. So they,
Now I wish I chose a different set of words because I said pretty heart, but what I meant was strong heart. Because intelligence would be a part of that heart. I'd rather you be smart.
Then, it's not necessarily about the heart, is it? It's more about the person as a whole.
Yeah, the person as a whole.
The person who, you can have a strong, pretty heart, but I think I have a pretty kind heart, but I'm also incredibly argumentative. I'm determined. I'm stubborn. I have a foot in my mouth 90% of the time. I'm not exactly easygoing.
When it comes... Yeah, go ahead, Claire. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, it just depends on the person, and that all people should be all women, or people who identify as women should be accepted.
When it comes to something like this, Claire's right. I'm a horrible person, and I do roll my eyes. I am. When I hear people say cliches or pretty heart and all that, I do roll my eyes, and I thank Jesus that he didn't let Mitch see me roll my eyes because it's not Mitch's fault, But I'm ill because I'm just what? On some level, I'm glad. I'm glad Claire's here because she says it in such a nicer way than I do, and I'm not going to be mean about it. But what I do think about this as a solution, I won't say the problem. I would just say what I think a solution should be. I'll be productive, Is that is that it's not necessarily looking for heart, or even if I was gonna be argumentative towards Claire, would be intelligence, because not everybody's smart. There's dumb people, and they still deserve to have their rights too, just for being a dumbass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just think of quality of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think of what is going to be somebody's quality of life, and how are they going to be able to live? How does this dumbass be able to live in this world peacefully? Or how does a smartass be able to live in this world peacefully? But how does somebody as this person, how do we make sure that their life is okay? When we're talking about them, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
Maybe she wants to play with dolls. Maybe she wants to have a math set. What is her life going to shake out to be? And I really don't care that much in that regard, as long as when we're bringing this person up, the environment that we bring them up in is one that supports them and make sure that we're not making them lesser. I remember this one time I was with friends, and they had this, amongst them there was a child, right? One of them had a girl, right? A little girl. She was so cute. And they said that she was bossy. They would keep saying that she's bossy. They're bossy. She's bossy, 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 bossy. Right?
Right.
And me, the way I am, I think characters like Meryl Streep's and Devils Wear Prada and Cruella are awesome people. So I'm I see a bossy little girl, I'm yes, right? I'm hype as shit for that, right? I want to see it. So we went out with this person, and we went out with these people, and then the little girl wanted to boss me around, right? And then they all jumped on her, right, immediately. And they're like, don't say that, don't be bossy. And I was like, no, it's okay. I was like, I'll do what you want, but just say it nicely. Like I said, I'll do what you want. Just say please first. And she goes, well, Logan, can you please go over there and blah, 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 blah. And then I complied, right? Because that's what you do with a 6-year-old. But
no, I hear you. Like,
but at the same time, it's like, there's no reason to call this person bossy when like the whole world is going to grow this person up and make it a bad thing.
She's a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to be really careful. Like, that's what my experience with working with children has taught me, is you've got to be really careful with word choices because you don't want them to feel like what they're doing is bad. You can hone the behavior. Yes. You can sort of teach them how to utilize their personality, which might be a bit of a bossy personality, into a way where society won't think of them as a rude cow. You know, you don't want them to be entitled or a Karen or whatever else, but you also want them to be able to feel independent, and you should sort of honor their ability to know what they want and ask what they want, you know, because that part of it is incredibly important.
I think about so many times that like I was bossy growing up, but if I was because I grew up as a boy, nobody noticed and nobody cared.
Nobody said anything.
I was going to say nobody cared. It's not that they didn't notice. They didn't care.
Yeah, nobody cared.
And that's why it's not fair.
And like if you have a girl that grows up bossy, like even other women are repulsed by that. You know what I mean? And it's like we're all grown up to be like, well, a woman shouldn't be in charge. And I don't believe that. I think like if you are a girl and you get shit done, then maybe you should be in charge. You know what I mean? Like if she gets shit done, then don't teach her not to be bossy. Just teach her not to be fucking rude. You know what I mean?
Bossy stems from the word boss.
I know. So that's why I'm like, yes, she should be a boss. Like,
but it just depends. Like, is she, and that's the other thing. So sometimes we do like to harsh on because it's like, all right, because after all, she's a child. We're all humans. There is certain behavior that looks like it can be problematic. There is certain behavior that actually maybe just works. Was she being, negative, mean, abusing people, or was she just being assertive?
She was just being assertive.
Oh, guess what?
Yeah,
there wasn't a fucking problem in the first place.
No, yeah.
There wasn't a fucking problem in the first place. Oh, she was being a little assertive.
Yeah.
And it was like, and you had to be like, hey, could you, so some people would just be like, oh, okay, I did that done. But you being Logan were like, damn, just say please first. Like, please. Yeah. And it's like, maybe she wasn't even being that, like, oh, I'm sorry, Claire, what's up?
No, you're okay. You can finish what you were saying. I didn't realize you wouldn't finish.
Oh, okay.
I jump in sometimes because I'm bad at social cues.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say that, she was just being assertive. Like, that isn't a serious problem. Some people would probably react to that fine and be like, oh, that's just a normal thing. But Logan being who he is, and a man at that, was probably feeling like a little like, oh, damn, did this 6-year-old just talk to me that way? Whereas some people might be like, all right, this assertive behavior, like, all right, it's not necessarily a problem, but people aren't used to assertive behavior.
No, I looked at it, I was like, this is potential. You know what I mean?
Man, don't be grooming out here. Don't be grooming. What the fuck wrong with you?
Even if it is to positive intentions, it's still gross.
No, it's not gross. You guys are just making it gross. I think it's like, no, I felt like it was potential.
Said every groomer ever.
No, you guys are making it gross. Because I'm like, this person could like run a company one day or some shit. They could like be president or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And I think
and they're going to need to tell people what to do.
Yeah, myself especially. It took it's okay. I'm used to it. It took a really long time for me to be good at being assertive because I constantly would second guess what was assertive and what was aggressive. Now I'm a naturally bossy girl myself. When I was a kid, I was incredibly bossy. And my parents were like, oh my God, she can't be this bossy. Like, they were petrified for me. So they freaking, I don't want to say beat it out of me because that wasn't exactly the truth, but like they like made sure I wasn't like that anymore. And then I became incredibly meek and incredibly shy and it's been a journey. But I just have gotten so good at it now, especially at work where, someone will come over and they'll say something and I'll have to be like, I can't help you. Like, I'll just cut them off. I'll be like, look, I can't help you with this. Would you like me to get my manager? Is that what you'd like me? Like, you know what I mean? I'm really good at like not being rude and not being aggressive, but just nah, sorry, I can't hear this right now. I can't, because I can't do anything. So there's no friggin' point in wasting your time, wasting your breath, talking to me about this. I'm going to go get my manager for you and they can help. You know what I mean? And that's assertive. And I never saw that as assertive. I just saw that as being like, I don't know, confident or whatever. But that's actually being assertive because I'm making, like, you know what I'm just saying?
Yeah. And sometimes you have to be. It is
really
because and you see, and it's this superficial culture we're living in. And superficial is basic definition, even though I don't have Webster in front of me. But when we say superficial, we're referring to what's happening on the surface. We're not willing to go beyond the surface, referring to super. Someone says, oh, it's just a superficial scar. It was just on the surface. It wasn't a big deal. So when we say superficial, we're talking about what's only on the surface. We're human beings with more than just a surface. And so Claire's sitting here talking about, oh, I was being assertive and I felt that was a problem because we grew up in a superficial society that was like, oh, hey, that girl's being assertive. She's being bossy. Mind you, we didn't want her bossy in the first place. We need to deal with that. Mm-hmm. It's like that problem is deeper than that, you fucking asshole.
And I also see like a lot of like I've listened to a lot of like comedy bands and I listen and watch a lot of like comedy TV shows with women. And when one specific woman had this song and it's called Lady Boss, and in the song it's literally about how it's really hard to, like, one of the lines is do what I want, but let me say it to you in a nice way. Like, it's really hard to be a lady boss. It's really hard to, like, expect people to do what you say as a woman.
Yeah.
And people do it, and then the surprise. They're, like, genuine, like, holy shit, she didn't even second guess me. That's crazy. Like, that genuine surprise of, like, respect when respect happens, because you're so used to fighting for it, you know, in like a workplace or in like that sort of situation. Mm-hmm. Even in like life, but yeah.
No, I was
what did you want to say?
Well, because you bring that up and it's like the reason for that as well is because we have, and that's also the other part of sexism, because there is positive and negative, like, in terms of the isms and discrimination in a lot of ways. Because it's like saying, oh, an Asian person's smart or they're good at math. Positive, but that was fucking racist, bro. You don't get to make that assumption. For women, there's the expectation of always being kind and sweet. Women are women are so great. They're so kind and sweet. No,
they're soft,
you fucking
they're
asshole.
gentle.
Yeah, and that's how they're supposed
to
be.
Those are some big ones.
Bro, and that sounds so positive, but when you think about it, it's not even really positive.
Good. I'll give that to us. We do smell good.
Man, we could beg more. Isms! Guys, get out the sexism now. Get out the sexism space now. Everyone get out of the sexism circle. We're going to be full on.
Yeah, they smell like shit.
Okay, so Logan, you're just gonna get back into
not say you smell like shit.
You're gonna get so both of you just get back into the positive sexism circle for a little bit, because that's where I need to be for a little bit, it seems. I'll just stay out here in the reality.
Okay. I was gonna say something else, but even with the Devil Wears Prada and the Corella and all the examples Logan said, they get called bitch. They're bitch boss. Mm-hmm. They're like seen as like the mean guy. They're the villain. Yeah. And that's because, going back to what I said about the song,
think they are, but yeah,
which is ahead. No, I get into a point.
Okay.
Going back to the song, do what I want, but let me say it in a nice way. Mm-hmm. We can't be nice, because if we're nice, like if we're like, oh, can you please do this for me? We're not taken fucking seriously.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like we either have to be assertive and borderline rude and like aloof for you to take us friggin' seriously. You know, we can't just be like, oh, can you please fax that for me by tomorrow morning? Thanks. And I'll come tomorrow morning and I'll be like, oh, well, you didn't seem to care about it too much. No, that wasn't me not caring. That was me being polite. That was me treating you with respect that I expected you to, like, return.
Right.
You know?
Facts, man.
It's ridiculous. We don't need to be the sure, the Corellas and the like Devil Wears Prada bosses. I can't remember her name, and all that
Miranda
sort of
Priestley.
stuff. Yeah, so sure the Miranda Priestley.
So Logan had a crush. There it is. All right, yeah.
Yes.
The Corellas, they exist and they're allowed to exist, but they're not allowed to be kind. They're not allowed to be. I'm sure that little girl, that bossy little girl Logan knows, has a very sweet side. She can be lovely, but she's also bossy, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But I just feel bad for her because growing up in life, yeah, they do nourish the bossy. That's brilliant. But then when she gets to the workplace, she won't ever be able to show her sweet side, and they call that professionalism for women. Do you know that's fucked up? They call being rude and assertive professionalism for women. Being kind isn't professional for women.
Well, because it's not professional for men either. Like on the other side,
I don't know.
No,
I don't know because some bosses, pal around with their subordinates, and they can say please, and they can say thank you, and say things nicely and have things done
with their other men. And I just watched this.
Well, yeah, I know. I thought that was obvious.
Well, no, it's not because that's the thing. It's like it's a boys' club, anyways. So like a girl being like. I wouldn't advise anybody who was like looking to be like, the boss of like some like office job or whatever, or even just like any regular job and who was female to like be nicer. Like I wouldn't use that. I wouldn't give that advice. I really wouldn't, because like men don't respect that. Men don't respect that at all. Like just a man going up to another man, there's two ways you like get respect from a man as a man. This is what I'm saying for like just men. It's like you either are friends with that person already, you guys hit it off, or you have to dominate that man. Like that is the two different ways that like men allow other men to be in positions above them. You know what I mean?
Logan didn't see me roll my eyes.
I saw you roll your eyes. No, I saw you roll your eyes.
Yeah.
But no, it's true because like you can be.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it's true because like so like if you bring a woman to that equation, it's not like there's no equation where like you have to find like a really progressive boss that wants to promote you. That's like, oh, she's just so nice and like it has to be that way. You'd have to find like the few dudes in the world because in corporate culture, what they like to do or like just like. Business culture period, they figure whoever is the biggest asshole deserves the best promotion, and they promote assholes all the time. And if you're not willing to,
is considered weakness.
Yes,
which is taken for granted.
If you're not willing to like go that distance, you're not going anywhere, and it's horrible. But it's the truth. You know what I mean? And it's sad. And it contributes to a lot of problems when we like think about capitalism. It contributes to a lot of problems that, like just bad customer service and shit like that. But they don't give a shit about that. So Claire's looking at me like she's got something to say, and like I said something bad. So
I don't think you said anything bad. See, I was already ready with that sentence before you even finished yours. I don't think you said anything bad. I just think. I don't get that. I think, I've never really worked in a corporate world professionally. I only ever have experiences from, people in life and in movies and stuff like that. I only have like outside perspectives on working in corporate, so I can't comment on that. It just feels that way. And if it feels that way, maybe we should look a little deeper and see why it feels like that. Even if it's not what I said it was, like maybe I'm wrong in what I think it is. But if it feels that way, then what is the problem if it's not that? You know what I mean?
I feel like the problem even worse than ego, Mitch. I feel like the problem is like human nature is the problem. Like why do we feel like the strongest person of the bunch is I guess it has some type of thing to do with our fate, like our mortality, where like we feel like the person who's strongest is the one that's most likely to kill us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or the primal aspect of either you're equal to them, so you want their spot, so they're a threat, or you're under them so that you're a threat. Yeah. They're a threat.
Big fish gets the most.
And you either want to be the big fish.
Well, no one likes getting
you're a small fish and you're scared of being caught.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. That's something to chew on. I don't know. I think for women, though, there are a lot more problems than what we're talking about. Like what I was reading this morning. Mm-hmm. So I woke up this morning and it was like a really intense thing to read when you first open your eyes and you're scrolling through Facebook, you know how it be. Mm-hmm. And I opened it up and it was a woman, I think her name's Jane B or JB, I can't remember, but she's like a black woman activist who sort of speaks for women, and I don't know, I like her stuff. She's cool. It's just one of those things where you just like follow them on the Facebooks and the Twitters and stuffs.
Yeah.
And she wrote this article about Gabby Petito. If you don't know, Gabby Petito was found dead, assumedly murdered.
Oh, right,
I think it was last week, and she'd been missing for about a month in Wyoming. And she was talking about how horrible she wrote that, like, it wasn't an article, sort of just a Facebook post. She started off writing really respectfully to Gabby. Like, she didn't just jump straight into this next bit that I'm going to say. She was really respectful, and she was talking about how fucked up it is, and like, it is fucked up. But then she went on to talk about the fact that, like, the amount of media coverage this girl has gotten, and she didn't know it was because she was an influencer, but she had a feeling that it was probably because she's white, because whenever this sort of happens to a white woman, it's everywhere. Like, it is, and that's just a fact. Like, it's everywhere. Where she said, now I have the numbers because I wrote them down, 710 Indigenous women in that area, Indigenous American women in Wyoming have gone missing / murdered since Gabby went missing. I didn't write that bit down. I probably should have. I can't remember if it was in general or since. We'll go in general because I don't know the exact statistics at the second.
That works.
It was
Sounds 17. Right either way.
I think it was 1,700 black and brown women have gone missing or murdered in that the Wyoming area. So it probably was generally. I don't know, because I don't want to believe it was that many women in a month, but maybe. And then she said 64,000 to 75,000 black and brown and Indigenous women have gone missing or murdered in America. So no matter when that happened, that's still too many.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. One's too many.
These are all women who've had no media coverage.
Coverage.
Saying something
I got you.
To be able to speak.
You got it.
It's worse when you're being all like serious.
Right.
Like when you're fucking around and you're like, oh, I can't even laugh it off. I'm like, don't laugh now. That's ridiculous. But anyway, that's still a lot of women. That's like a fuck ton of women.
Right.
Including Gabby Petito. And it's really sad. It just was super sad to read. It was super like, oh, it made me want to cry, because those people have families and friends and stuff that care about them. Like, those people have been, brought down to a number that I'm talking about on a podcast, but each of them are a personality, a human, an autonomous being, who've had a life, who've lived a life. And now they're just gone. And half of their families don't even know where they are or what's happened to them. And no one cares. And that got me thinking about just how disposable women are in our culture. And I started thinking about the Chris Watts case, the man who murdered his wife and 3 daughters so he could move on with another woman. He couldn't just divorce them. He had to literally flat out murder his wife and 3 daughters so he could have a new life, because that's how disposable they were to him. Like, that's how much he thought he deserved this new life. It was like throwing out something old and used,
Yeah, that's sick.
And that just really upset me. We talk about the microaggressions and how, sorry, give me a second, how it's really hard for women in the workplace, and how I still have to wear fucking makeup to work when I work in a freaking fast food place, and how all that shit sucks. Like, it sucks. But then, you can't help but be grateful that I didn't choose to love a man. He thought I was disposable. Sorry. I didn't realize how.
You don't have to apologize for that, Claire.
It's scary. It's really scary. Sorry, I'm just trying to reel it in. Otherwise, I'll just be crying for like half an hour. Just on my couch in a ball. Like,
I'll make Logan shut up the entire fucking time. And we'll wait. We'll sit here and patiently wait.
Thank you. And I'm grateful because I have you guys, and I have Ben. And like, I have people in my life who aren't scary. But it makes you really like think about how they didn't think those people were scary either. You know?
Yeah.
The Chris Watts case. Specifically, she loved him. They were together for years. They had 3 kids together. It's like, how can you trust that? You know?
Yeah.
It's really fucked up. So yeah, it was a lot for first thing in the morning.
No.
To go.
I see, yeah.
And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because sexism is so much more than the media presented, like, vibe. You know? Like, yeah, I'm scared of getting in a relationship where my partner gaslights me or abuses me, but I'm also not an idiot. No offense to those. Sorry, that came out really fucking wrong. No offense to those.
No,
who,
finish your point.
Yeah,
I want to hear what you got to say about it.
I'm not an idiot who like will intentionally put myself in that, and I don't think other women are idiots who intentionally put themselves in that. It is hard to get out of, and I think you do need support. Mm-hmm. But I think people think we're stupid with the campaigns they run against it. You know what I mean? The anti-violence campaigns and stuff. They're like thinking we're damsels who are stuck, and even though that we might get stuck, it's like a different level. Do you get what I mean? No one really focuses on the psychological level in abusive relationships, and what the physical abuse can do to what physical abuse can induce in psychological abuse. Mm-hmm. And that's just one part of it, is what I'm trying to get at. Sorry, my brain is all fuzzled.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's just one part of it. That is just one part of it. And yeah, we do walk down the street. I'm just trying not to diminish anything that is media portrayed as true, because it is true. Like, we can't walk down the street at night without friends. We do carry pepper spray and shit. We do, like, fear rape and abduction and abuse in our partners, but it's like so surface level when we talk about it. We don't get to the point where, like, these women get what happens after you get abducted. How do you get help? Or are you just another missing black woman? Are you just another Gabby Petito ending up murdered in a ditch somewhere in Wyoming? You know, how do you stop that? There's help. Sorry. So it's really hard to not portray one in a negative light while trying to portray one in a positive light. And that's not at all I'm trying to do. I really, really, really think if you're in an abusive relationship, whether it's gaslighting or physical abuse or psychological abuse, it's really, really good that you can have help, that you have hotlines and people who will assist you and you can get out. I'm not saying that's bad. I just get so frustrated at the lack of assistance for women who are stuck in more intense situations, you know, life or death situations. Yeah. And I'm angry that men are so entitled that they will just take you off the street without your will. That there are men out there who will kill you. Without even a second thought. Yeah. That we are just disposable.
It was just a couple of months ago, there was that video that was going around where this guy, he was trying to like talk to these girls that were just out. They were just out having a night, right? And they got into it back and forth because they didn't want to talk to him. And he wanted to talk to them, but they didn't want to talk to him. And his crusty ass got upset, walked away from the table because they're eating outside. They're dining outside. Goes to the trunk of his car, gets a gun, and starts shooting towards them. Just starts shooting at him. And this was all on camera, and they started running. Thankfully, I believe nobody got killed. Thankfully, I believe that they got away. All of them got away. When I say believe, that all of them made it. But like, it's just like what Claire is saying. It's just it's like that. Like, you just like got it in your brain that like this is the next step. You know what I mean? Like, this is what should happen next. Like, I was talking. No, go ahead. Because like I was talking to some girls, and then they didn't like me, and instead of just like walking off, I'm like, fuck that. They got to be wiped off the earth. Die. You know, like, yeah, that's a big step. But like for a lot of people, that's not that big of a step. And for a lot of people that even watch that video, they might think that's crazy. But like then they'll make excuses like, she shouldn't have said that to him, and you can't just say that. You know what I mean?
And like, it's like, no, that's not how freedom of speech works. He doesn't get to just kill or assault someone because somebody said something to him. Otherwise, I'd kill every single white person who ever said the word nigger. The fuck? You should be careful who you're interacting with because there's crazies out there, right? But at the same time, now is not the time to bring that up. And the fact that you would bring that up now during this conversation, like, further belies the point that we don't give a fuck about women, you know, right? Because we can like bring that because like when their life is threatened, we can bring it up that like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that, or maybe you should have took his number. You know, like what do you want somebody to do in a situation that's impossible? You know,
how dare you insinuate that to avoid being murdered, I have to do something that I don't want to do? How dare you insinuate that is even an option? I'm sorry if that sounds entitled, but I feel like it's more entitled to get shot because I'm not interested. Because I'm like, who knows where they're at? I'm in a happy, loving relationship, right? But I might go out to lunch with my friends. Yeah. And if a guy comes up and asks for my number, I'm going to say no. Not anything against him. I'm just in a happy, loving relationship and I'm not polygamous. Like, it's just not where I'm at. Like,
and that's your decision.
So I'm going to say no out of respect for my partner, out of respect for my relationship, and hell, out of respect for him, because why would I lead him on? And then he's going to turn around and choose to shoot me, to kill me? Like, fuck you. I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you shit. I owe you an answer to your question, which I gave you. Like,
If somebody killed Claire right now, I'm telling you, they're going to have a real hard life with me, right?
Like, I mean, we pull up to Australia.
You said
Can
what?
I bring a katana?
No.
Bring a katana.
I'm talking.
I could get actual guns too.
I'm talking like Hugh Jackman. I'm going to torture you for the rest of your life. Like, I'm just going to torture you for the rest of your fucking life. And you know.
That works too.
I say that, and I mean that. And I say that because we talking about women getting kidnapped, and I'm like, if y'all dare kidnap Claire, y'all gonna have a problem with me. But I say that, and I also have like the realization on the other side that like it's not anything that I'm saying. It's not enough. It's not nothing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the one girl that I like, you know, that, you know, I'd be willing to torture for. But at the same time, there's so many people that I'm not going to torture that dude for Gabby Petito. You know what I mean? And it's just
somebody
like somebody might. I mean, like, he's on the large, like he's like on the run and shit. But like, I just think about like how everybody's got parents. Like how everybody's got like their girl that they would protect. Like, same thing with fuck with Sarah if you want. Like,
oh no,
like same thing. It's like, even if it was Sarah, if it was like anybody I knew. And like everybody has like that girl that they know, but like, what about the girl that? Like, what about the girl you don't know? Like, you gotta like, we need to start like extending some humanity to the people that we're never ever gonna meet.
There's this really cool post I saw the other day, and it was not I'm there for all girls, but more I will protect all girls because I may not like her, but if she's surrounded by a bunch of drunk men all on her own. She's coming home with me.
Right.
That is the attitude I bring to life. Even if she hates me. Even if she hates me for dragging her away from those drunk guys. I'd rather do that than wake up the next morning and see what happened the next morning on the morning news, you know. I can't.
I saw this video of this dude. He was on the train, right? He's in the New York subway, right? And he's yelling at this elderly woman because he doesn't have a mask on and she has a mask on. Now, she's not bothering him about not wearing a mask, but he decided to bother her about not wearing a mask. This is a full train, right? Like, this is a train full of people. And there's other women on the train.
Targeting our most vulnerable.
Yeah, he picked like the most vulnerable person on the train. And I just looked at that. And a lot of people say, you know, hey, people have guns nowadays. I don't blame anybody for not saying anything to them. And I get that. But at the same time, I said, thank God I'm not there because I'm crazy too. So it's like...
I was like, I'm going to get shot. I'm going to get shot. I'm going to the hospital after this.
Bro?
Like,
what the fuck wrong with you, bro? Leave Granny alone.
I'm like, that's an old woman. What are you doing? Shut the fuck up. Go sit down, Steve. What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
I don't know.
Right, bro. No, it's horrible. And, you know, and the thing is, we got to wait because it's like... And like, I feel so horrible that you and other women feel that way because it's not something I personally have to deal with. Like, I've been scared. I've been in horrible like predicaments where I was like, shit. But even in those moments, it was like, wow, because of how I was raised. And like, you know, we do have to admit the fact that like physically, you know, nature built men and women different. And like physically, oftentimes we'll find women have like weaker builds. It's hard to like stand on your own sometimes. And it's like we live in this society and it's like, look at what we're doing.
I'm tiny and fat, but I can still probably drop kick you.
Don't drop kick me, Claire. But I hope you can. The thing is, Claire, you know, you laugh about that, but I hope to God you could fucking drop kick me. That's the type of man that I am.
Yeah, sometimes like you and comes up and starts. And I have to keep blocking.
Yo.
It's like unintentional training.
I hope you have a plan to be like, yo, if Mitchell turns to the dark side, this is how I can get this on some Batman. And that's how I feel for like, I wish. Cause it's like, and I look, mind you, you know, I'm a person who believes in spirituality, but it's like, I look at God sometimes and I'm like, why would you do that? Look at what has happened.
That did open up a really good point in my head that's not really related, but it is. No offense to you at all, like, but I'm more petrified of Ben than I'd ever be of you. And that's not about size or anything, but it's because I love him. And he's
the closest. He's the closest. Yeah,
he's really big. He's really tall. And, like, he probably could kill me if he wanted to. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Oh, no. Nope,
he's not gonna.
He's not gonna.
He's not gonna. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. But you know, that's a very sad reality, and like we kind of like had on a roll, but we're talking about the superficial society.
If Ben kills Claire, it was me. That's all I'm gonna say. If Ben kills Claire,
probably have been me.
It was me.
Capable, but Logan can take the rap. After I hit this assassination, because I'm gonna get called.
It was me, Mitch.
I don't think you can
get there in time.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
It was me. I love Ben.
Logan just Naruto running across the Australian desert down to Victoria.
I'm in a helicopter
on a plane, looking out the window, like what the fuck?
Just like, God damn. Yo, hurry up. He gonna beat me there for real. God fucking damn. So, I ain't get the superpower unlocked. This is some bullshit, man. But it would make sense. It would make sense in that case. But no, and you know, that's the thing, Claire. It's like, I think having a daughter would be a great thing, because how could it not be a great thing? But then I look at how, in the society I live in, how I would have to raise a daughter versus a son. Mind you, I'm the type of person who's going to raise them very similarly, but my daughter is a girl, a female, a young woman, and I know there are certain precautions. I'm going to have to take a little bit more care in specific areas. Not more care in general, but care in specific areas, because I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we doing? What can we do to combat that?
Well, I know the feeling.
I don't know.
As not a racist, but I would there was a potential I'd raise a child of color. And then, like, I went through the same thing of thinking about, like, well, what can I do to make sure that I, do the best for that child and ensure that child is safe. And I feel like it's a similar thing. It's not the same, but it's a similar thing and raising a daughter. What's the best way I can keep her safe and give them autonomy? And, when we're raising kids and stuff and they're not someone who's been raised like us or like looks like us or whatever else, has the same anatomy as us or whatever else is going on, you got to make sure you think about that. You got to remember that.
I've actually said as an answer to that though, is that there's nothing you can do, and that's
to an extent.
Well, no,
I disagree with you, but I'll talk about that after.
No, it's truly nothing you can do. I feel like you can teach somebody to protect themselves. You can teach somebody how to handle themselves on the street. You can teach somebody how to talk. I see where you're going. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're out there. At the end of the day, your girl comes, like she's at the bus stop just coming home. Somebody scoop her up. That's your girl. That's same for your son, Like even your son, like your son is black. He's out on the street. Cops scoop him up for no reason. That's your boy.
Then I shall Naruto run.
Yeah, but that's a reality that could happen.
I don't care what color he is. My son is my fucking son, and I will kill you.
I feel like
shout out to the real,
because I had this conversation. I did have this conversation with Sarah because she was like, what am I supposed to do? Because she was like saying like she was like saying like no, I would do this and I would do that. I was like, listen, there's nothing you could do, and she's like, so I just give up. I said, you don't give up, and she's like, well, so what do you mean? There's nothing I can do? I'm like, just like. That's the reality. That's
just be its parent.
That's what people are dealing.
Sounds bad.
That's like
just be their parent.
Yes, because that's all you can do. Because this is what people are dealing with every day. That's the hard.
These are what parents are dealing with every day. Well, the ones that actually fucking.
Jokes on you. If I summon a demon and put it under my control and have it latched to my daughter as a protector and destroys anyone who comes into contact with my children, joke's on you, Logan. I guess there's that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail that like that.
I want to write a comic book about that. I really want to write a comic book about that.
Oh, well, let me get my site. Let me get my site at least.
But Mitch, what if...
Let me get my site.
Mitch, I will.
What if John Constantine wants to kidnap your daughter? Now what?
Oh, no. See, you on some bull because John Constantine will understand. John Constantine will understand, like, yo, what the fuck's this 12th level demon doing? Oh, okay, the spell's set up so that it's only if any malignant force tries to it. Oh, wow, what a nice parent. Well, shit, I'm not going to fuck with that kid because it's 12th level and I'm going to need some heavy duty shit to fuck this all up. So, all right.
I love how you what the fuck is a 12th level demon? Like, what is that
I
shit?
just made that up, bro.
I just made this shit.
Well, do you remember Etrigan?
Is that
No. I just made that. Do you guys remember? Well, technically it's D&D when you talk about levels. You guys remember Etrigan? Etrigan, the demon in the DC universe? Jason Blood, Etrigan. Gone, the form of man. Comes out the beast, Etrigan, or something like that.
Holy shit, we're deep in it now.
So Etrigan was a demon who rhymed, but there was levels to the class, the rank of the demon.
He rhymed
high-ranking demons got bars. At least in the DC universe, Etrigan rhymed, and the reason was because he was a high-ranking demon. Etrigan could fight Superman.
What?
Like, Etrigan's a high-ranking demon, bro.
I feel like he would probably kill me because I would make fun of him. I'd be like, if you don't get your Pied Piper ass out of here, like,
on some real, but then you get fucked up. But I'm talking about like in terms of rank, like arc level demons. Like there's an arc in front of like this is Arch Fiend. You remember Yu-Gi-Oh? How there'd be fiends and stuff. That's what that was based on. So you'd have Arch Fiend this, Arch Fiend that. I'm talking about pull up on my daughter. You getting slapped. You getting clapped with an Arch Fiend demon.
Pull up on Mitch's daughter.
On some King Solomon shit.
You getting slapped with the Dr. Seuss demon. Like, it's just like
facts. And wouldn't you feel disrespected? Be like, was that a rhyme I heard? Oh, look, what's afoot? It's my hook. Now you're dead in the head. No longer there to lie. No bed. Instead, unlife.
Unlife.
Goodbye.
Unlife.
And then you all float in the spirit like, yo, the fuck just happened? Damn it, I just started yelling at some little girl.
But I ain't gonna do that no more.
I wish.
I'm like, if you don't get your Dr. Seuss ass away from me, I'm going to pull this cross out.
And Demon would know. Like, oh, okay. Now that person's probably not going to mess with Mitch's kid in any harmful ways, at least. But no, it's all jokes aside, man. It's like, because there isn't anything you could do other than engineering people in a society who wouldn't think to do that, or having a task force so nice, which is almost impossible.
The value has to be there first. Like, we have to actually value women first. Like that.
But so, you know what? I'm going to say something that's going to sound really horrible, but no, because don't say it. I don't know if it's right to say it like that, because human trafficking is a real thing. They see the value. They just don't have any morals. Yeah, see, I knew you weren't gonna like that.
No, because that's different. That's not true. Because that's not value when you value a person.
It's actually just more disposability.
Yeah, it is disposability
of various different peoples of different colors.
Just because you put a price tag on free human labor doesn't mean you see the value in that human. What you saw the value was in the exploitation of that human. Like, there's a big difference between seeing the value of like how much you can get for exploiting somebody versus like how much this person's life is worth. Because like people die in like containers all the time, and then they just move the fuck on with their day. You know what I mean? Like, they find people just dead in shipping containers and then don't talk about it. And then like the people who put them there just move on and just put more people in shipping containers, you know, put another shipment out.
But and my thing is, when you say that, you're like, oh, we need to teach people to, which is true, but it's like people doing shit like that don't need to be taught shit. They just need to get put down.
Well, no, I mean, like, just like society.
Sorry,
like,
that was maybe a little bit too harsh. But
no,
I
agree.
I get what you're saying.
I never expected you to say it.
Oh, no, you don't know. You don't know.
I'm talking about.
I'm not trying to have you know that side.
I'm talking about when you say like.
Oh, society. No. I completely agree. But it's like, because on the side of, but I'm like, the people where the actual problematics, it's like, I'm not teaching them nothing.
Yeah, it's just not enough to it's just not enough to like pay attention to like one missing white girl. It really isn't. And that's where like Claire started with it. But it's like, it's just not enough to like pay attention to like,
I got frustrated.
Either you care about like people being missing and women really being missing, or you don't.
Because I care about all women. I really genuinely mean that. And like I said before, even if I don't like you, even if you hate my guts, I'm going to try and protect you. Because at the end of the day, we need to.
Yeah.
We don't have the luxury of just choosing not to. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the chick that Claire bashed against the printer. Like, you hearing it here first. Like, she would 12. Still ride for you, though. Exactly. And you would still ride for her.
Oh, yeah. If I saw her in the street today and, like,
and if some man was giving her problems before you decided to be like, yo, there's that chick that fought me at 12, you'd be like, yo, leave her the fuck alone. Because you have that inherent value that we don't really foster enough in people, because we like to foster people to just listen, follow orders, and work so they can feed the machine.
Right.
And it's that's not all across like I can do it because I'm a female or anything. I'd like to like clarify that, because I thought about that in my head for a second. It's not because like I can do it because I'm a girl, so I'm allowed to beat her up. It's more, it's different situations.
Sorry. Excuse me.
What?
No,
he just sneezed. I thought you did that thing where you said something under your voice. I'm so used to you guys shading me.
That's Logan. No. I don't even be trying to shade you. I'll really do.
Nah, you have your moments. Don't even play.
Like tiny ones, but you're the shadester.
No, I get where you're coming.
But anyway,
I get what you're saying, Claire. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I am not proud of that moment. Like, when I talked about it on the podcast, I sort of regretted it a little bit. Because
I'm proud of that moment.
I know you are. So that is why I regret it a little bit, because that isn't who I am now. That was who I was in a moment of fear and reaction, you know. That was, you know, where you see a sharp, shiny thing and it's going to you and you have like a very visceral reaction, you know. I didn't want to hurt her. I could have killed her. And
Yes.
That makes me feel something now. It didn't make me feel anything then, but I think that's just because I was quite numb back then. I had a very turbulent childhood. So I just wanted to clarify, like, I'm not proud of that action. It just is something that is a part of my past that makes me laugh. And what makes me laugh too is when I told Logan, like, that's just who I am and that's just what I be. He was so shocked.
No, word.
Because, like, that's part of the funny part, you know?
Like, oh, damn, what? Oh, shit. Like, Logan's meters went off.
It's not that she beat the girl up. It's that she left the girl for dead.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't mean to. I just genuinely, I don't know if I didn't have perspective on what that meant or, like, what the damage I did. I don't know if I, like, you know what I mean? I was 12.
And you panicked a little bit and got a little scared.
Did something. And then when the threat was gone, like I said, I had a turbulent childhood as is. So I think I was a very fight and flight kind of kid. Like, it would I was just going about my business without really thinking about it, you know?
You got good instincts, Claire. You got good instincts.
Yeah.
and also, I just want to be clear. So you didn't kill her. We can still put you into Disney. Don't even worry about it. You're good. You're good. Listen, you recovered from your past. You did what you got to do. We can still put you in a Disney picture. Don't worry about it. You're going to be a star, Claire. You're going to be a star. And we can let Jeremy Renner in. Hey, to the moon.
I don't think we actually had.
Oh, did I not make it? Oh, shit.
I think it was far away from the beginning, but that's so funny.
Damn,
either
bro.
way.
Damn. Well then.
I don't know. It still works. I feel like it still works.
Anyways, we got to get out of here, guys. It's getting late.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
good talks, though, to be honest with you guys, though. For real. Like, I know it seemed like things were off, but, like, I think we really had some really good conversation. Like, legit conversation.
Yeah, for real.
Kudos to that.
Claire, do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Just I don't know.
I thought you were singing, and I was like, "Oh, damn!" Playing with the pipes, I was sounding nice real quick. I was just ready to jump in. I was ready to background. I was ready to background the fuck.
Such a good hype, man. I'm very grateful for the wonderful men in my life who aren't rapists, murderers, or abusers. If you do need help, please reach out. I don't want anyone to feel like what I was saying was negating anything that is good about where we're at in society and helping women in these relationships. I guess I'm just a little emotional and frustrated at the more extensive side of it. If you ever want to chat to me, I'm pretty open about that sort of stuff. If you don't have anyone else to talk to. I don't know what else to say, you guys. I'm sort of in a really muddled headspace at the second. But I do love you all, and I hope you all take care of your own mental health, and you drink your water, and you take your medication if you need it, and you get some sun in those bones, because apparently winter's coming for a lot of Americans, so get out there while you can. Australians, we are going to have our summer, and I am having a soft girl summer. So this will be fun. Have a good week, guys. I love you all.
Aw. Thank you, Claire. Mitch, do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Curb your fucking ego before you use it to hurt somebody for no fucking reason. Let's value our women. It's long overdue. They're not secondary people. They're not objects of our desires. They're just people like everyone else. And it's long overdue to give them the value that they so rightfully deserve. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Just like, don't fall in love with the superficial. Be authentic, be genuine, be real. That's what the world needs.
Just do your best.
Just do your best. Mitch out.
What the hell? You know,
it was a serious mic drop.
What the hell?
I'm sorry, I had to do it at least once.
Logan,
it was
the
on
man
my
who
keyboard.
funded this all,
I know.
was like,
I just realized I did that. It was so reflexive because I needed something. I was like, shit, I got too serious then, and I was like, and then I realized what I did afterwards, and Logan's face was like, Logan wasn't even like joking mad. Logan was like Mitch, how you gonna do that in front of me, bro? And I was like, shit, you're right, my fault.
Yeah, I only ever drop my mic by accident when he's not looking.
Yeah, exactly. And I was dead just like, Logan's like, you dead picked up the mic nigga, and just dropped it in front of me like that. So I am actually sorry. That wasn't cool.
Motherfucker, I'm not made out of mics.
That was just $60. That's chill. It's chill.
I'm sorry.
I'm just okay. Let me. I'm okay. I'm okay.
In any case, you're welcome for that moment.
You ever see like when you like waste food and your parents are like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah.
That's how I felt just
that was
then.
dead the look, and I was
in
like,
my
shit.
bones. I was like,
The black child in me was like, "You're not my daddy." Like the fuck, the fuck. Wait, what was that feeling? Oh shit, my fault, my bad. Damn, it was that bad, nigga. All right, chill, shit, man, chill. All right, my fault. I was just playing. Damn, I didn't mean that bad.
like playing. You think this is a game? Like, I don't know how many times I've heard that. Like, you think this is a game? Nah, he do. Nah, this is my dad. My dad be like, nah, bet he do.
Oh, he be hyping it up.
He be hyping shit. He be like,
look at him. Look at him. You see his ass.
Nah, he think it's a game. He think it's time to play. And not. I ain't playing.
That is all I needed from your outro. That's it, right? That's the whole outro. This is a game. That was my dad. You think it's a game? He do. He playing. Oh, that was it. That was it. Yo.
Oh man, that man was stressed.
Oh God, that was
nothing. Over not a damn thing.
Right. Right. It'd be like that sometimes.
Let me calm down. I was going to talk about...
This could get you punched in the face in a black hole.
All right. Play with black parents if you want to. No, we were gonna talk about how I love this show because like we always come in with so many things we want to talk about, and we never get to all of them. And you guys don't know that, but we never get to everything we want to talk about. And anytime we do talk about the things we do talk about, I think we bring a lot of value to the topics we talk about. And that is my hope, and that is my constant worry, I guess, in my secret mind. But like, also just my hope that like we talk about a thing, and we're not saying, not just that we're not saying what everybody else has already said for the sake of it, but that we're giving you guys something that is relevant to you, something that is of value to you. If not relevant, you know? And that's always the goal, and that's always been the goal of the show. And I would love to talk about that more on the show because I feel like there is something I wanted to talk about on the show about like, you know, what is the show's actual purpose? And I think I will talk about that next show because we had a lot of important things to talk about. And we had to talk about the women issue because of the Gabby Petito thing, but also because of, you know, the reaction to it. And we had to talk about it as far as, you know, it's no disrespect to Gabby Petito that, you know, because this is a person that actually lost their life, but we also have to be, we have to recognize the fact that this country does not, and so many countries around the world does not respect certain women.
I'm hesitant to even have a look at who even cares about Aboriginal.
Yeah,
it's not her. It's disrespect to everybody else. Truth be told.
Yeah, and we need to do better, all of us collectively. There's no such thing as this person that's lurking out there that's super woke and just like without fault. If you believe that about yourself, then you are the person that is most at fault, I believe. Because if you know these things are going on and you feel like you can excuse yourself from everything that's going on here, then you are the biggest problem because you know better. I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about how I want you guys to be able to talk to us and put comments in and like, you know, tell us if you hate the show. Tell us if you love the show. Tell us why, most importantly, you love or hate the show, though. Engage in the comments. I can't promise you I'm always going to be like talking to you in the comments because I got things to do. But, talk about the shit so that we know that, like, when we're talking about the stuff, that it doesn't just go over people's heads, or like that it matters to you just as much as it matters to us. Because, like, I'm sitting here, I'm watching Claire, like, pour her heart out, and this shit matters to her. And I like that she brought a topic to her, to this show that mattered to her, because of the fact that I want it to matter to you, and I want you to be able to learn something. I want you to be able to hear something that either makes your life better or sets you on a path where you're thinking about something that you make somebody else's life better. You know what I mean? And that's where we should kind of be. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about the show beyond that. What I do want to say is fuck Border Patrol and fuck ICE. And you can at me about it. I don't give a fuck, because I'm going to send you the same fucking pictures that y'all been showing me all week. And that's just that. You're not about to be out here beating black people on horseback and think I'm just going to shut my fucking mouth about that. I'm not. And the great thing about this show is that I set it up in such a way that, like, if we got to do 3 weeks more of talking about this shit, I would love to do that. I don't really think we should, because I think everybody said what we needed to say and what needed to be said about the thing. But the show is so fluid that I don't see a problem with talking about subjects more than once on the show. And I think sometimes it's good for us to be in that like that. As always, if you like the show, share the show. If you hate the show, share it with your enemies so you annoy the piss out of them. I love you guys. Drink your water, as Claire said. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Have a good day at work. Have a good drive to work, and have a good breakfast. Whatever time you're watching or listening to the show, I just want you to have a good time while you're doing it. And hopefully you learn something. Hopefully we brought something to your life about it, Say bye to the people, Claire.
Bye, guys.
Say bye to the people, Mitch.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good.
All right, JK.
Well, I had to close it.
Okay.
I had to close it.
Just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't be appreciating, yo. Like, thank you, Claire. Thank you, Claire.
Anyways.
I knew that's what he was doing, but I was like, but anyway, what are you
this
saying?
Man,
he
Logan,
should be able to kill
shit.
a 12-year-old. That's what I'm saying. I've been your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast Podcast, episode 22, and we out. Bye.